and all, welcome to the Astronauts Brawl Weekly. In this series, we'll see many teams fight against each other with many casters on hand, and joining me for this first match, and just to start it off, is Skinner.
Hello everybody! Well, I am very excited to be here with you, Devmon. It's been a long time since we've casted together, and I hope, and I think many people agree that it's been a long time since one of these tournaments happened. And, well, it's good to be back. That's all I can say for now.
I would agree. It's actually nice to see another weekly tournament pop up, because the last time this happened was Warzone Weekly back in, I think, February. So it's nice to see some sort of summertime activity go on, with new people, new teams, and prizes too.
Well, yeah, the prizes, just to talk about the prizes right now, we have some, well, to say the least, stuff that is definitely very interesting. It is, without less, prizes that, well, are very, let me just get the thing going on here, hold on, I don't have the prize here, but, hold on.
But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't it a whole bunch of games via game code for Steam?
It is a lot of games. Hold on. Okay, now I have the prizes here. I apologize for that. Okay, so basically there's two types of prizes, the weekly prizes and the final prizes. So the weekly prizes is basically a free skin to the 3 winners or 4 winners, how many teams you have on the team that won. If you have 4 members of your team that won the weekly tournament, you get 1 skin of choice for each member of the team, which is pretty awesome. Like, you don't have, oh, they are giving away that skin, but I already have that one. But no, you can pick whatever skin you want. That is not probably like Roboscoop. I'm not sure if we're giving away Roboscoops.
Roboscoop is not a thing.
It's not available.
Not a
yeah,
thing.
That's what I feared. But yeah, it's still pretty awesome. You can get a lot of cool skins. The newest skins are great, not to mention some of the other skins. And, well, it's just great. But for the final prizes, this is where it gets interesting. The winning team will receive a portion of the 100 game codes worth over $3,000. How amazing is that, Devmon?
That's a ton of money. Actually, there's lots of good games I heard. I know there's a whole bunch of games that I'd like to play myself, but I'm not in this competition. I'm going to see who wins it overall to get their hands on the games. There's lots of good games in there, including like 5 million copies of Bad Rats. That's actually not a thing, but it could be if you really wanted.
Well, the prizes are obviously very tempting to participate in the tournament, so even if you don't think you'll make it to the finals, just try hard in one of the weeks and you still are able to win something, which is the best part of all of this, the weekly prizes. Just a big special thanks goes to Rodo, because he was the guy that gave over the 100 codes here. Thanks a lot to VMR98 as well, Mr. Pillow, and obviously Ronimo Games for the skins that I think most of the skins are going to be giving away, it's from them. So, yeah, we talked about prizes right now, so I think the audience is here for something, and we're going to give that something. Isn't that right, Devmon?
Well, we're going to see who gets those prizes, and we'll have to go in the systematic order to find out who wins games. So with that in conclusion, let's start off with the first game. I believe it's Team Mojo versus Team NaCl, and if people don't know, NaCl is the chemical formula for salt. Table salt, to be specific.
A very funny name indeed. Well, we're gonna go right into the draft right now. So, Devmon, you have the draft ready, I suppose. So, would you go over the bans and picks for this first match of the first week of Awesome Brawl Weekly?
I can indeed. So, in this map, Aguilon, of course, we have Team Mojo on the red team, and they've banned off Penny and Nibs. But on the blue team, Salt has banned off Froggy and Yuri. In terms of picks, we have Team Mojo with the Leon, the Coco, and the Skoldier. And on Salt's team, they've actually got a really interesting combination I haven't seen pretty much in forever. It's Sentry, Scoop, and Jimmy or Amy. I think it's Amy in this case, in the Luxbot 5000.
It is Amy.
Well, there we go, that's confirmed. And given, well, basically what's just happened recently, Awesome Nuts has had a huge content patch for balance, and basically this tournament is everybody going in fresh, experiencing this fresh patch, and there's going to be a whole bunch of things you might see with all these changes.
Yeah, this stream is going to be very important for not only for the viewers, because they're going to get entertainment, but also for the players, because the players are going to learn how things work with this new patch, because the balance patch was really huge. It changed a lot of things, a lot of important things, in fact. So I'm gonna talk about this draft for a minute because it seems Devmon is getting a phone call of a sort. So, okay, so ban Penny, that was the first ban. Well, ban Penny's kind of not regular. You want to ban something like Genji, Leon, not as much in this patch, but Genji, Yuri, stuff that really can go with anything else. Penny is good, but probably not the best ban here, but still. Then we have the Froggy G ban from Salt. I'm just gonna call Salt because saying NSAL is kind of hard, so...
It is. Anyway, we'll see how much salt they generate anyways.
Yeah, let's hope it's not too much, actually. Too much of anything is bad. So let's just a little bit of salt is pretty good. Okay, so going into the bans to the picks right now. Mojo picked Leon first pick. A good pick, because Leon's got the silence. He can push a little bit, not too much though. You guys will see in this game how Leon has been nerfed. I mean, Leon now has a temporary invisible. It's not permanent anymore, and he can only spawn one dummy at a time. Although his base damage has been increased, and that was basically it for Leon in this patch. We have a Sentry and Scoop double pick going on from Salt. Sentry, we haven't seen Sentry a lot in for example, in the scrim show that's happening recently, hosted by Mr. Pillow. We haven't seen Sentry being picked that often. Warzone Weekly Sentry wasn't very popular either. So maybe with this patch, Sentry's something new. It's hard to tell. It's very new patch and we can't really tell. Scoop, on the other hand, is one of the strongest knots. I mean, everything else that was S tier or A tier was nerfed, and Scoop remained probably the same. And there's one item, Devmon, would you like to tell what item it is I'm talking about that is very strong?
So, given the recent patch, there's a bug fix to fix one of the buggiest items in the game, and that is the Halberd of Justice. It's an auto-attack upgrade for Scoop that recovers 50% of his maximum HP when an enemy Awesomenut dies. Now, before this was inconsistent, you had to either be the host or you couldn't be the host, and now with all these little bug fixes fixed up, he consistently gets that health, which means it's consistent and both consistent and powerful. So, we'll have to see if that gets picked up this game, because that will allow him to do a lot of tanking if you can get one kill in the fight.
Okay, right after that, we're gonna see Coco being picked up. Pretty standard. The Coco Ball deals a lot of damage. The Blaze is very important, and Coco can deal a lot of damage very fast. Then we have a Nibs ban, which is very smart. I mean, Nibs and Sentry, you always has that. Well, you know, the gimmicky combo. Why Salt didn't pick Nibs for the gimmicky comp with Sentry, I don't understand, but probably they wanted to play Scoop or they don't play Nibs very well. Doesn't matter. Then we have Yuri ban, which is very, very understandable. I mean, Yuri, come on, Yuri. Leon, Yuri? No way, I don't want that in my game. Then we see Scaldier being picked up, and last but not least, Lux being picked up. Lux, let's talk about Lux in a minute. Aguilon, Lux, you have those tight tunnels. Lux pushing someone into our towers, for example, Lux pushing Leon or Coco into the blue towers. This might be dangerous. This is very, very dangerous for the red team. American Mojo needs to pay attention to this, because Lux is probably going to be the guy that is going to initiate. Push them into Black Hole, into Scoop, because Scoop deals a lot of damage. That's probably what we're going to see from the blue team. American Mojo, on the other hand, they have Scaldier and Leon. They can both initiate, and if they go on at the same time, they can deal a lot of damage. Coco and Leon be around one opponent at the same time, like Sentry, Scoop, they get wrecked. And they're very tank. They are tanks. They can't move around very easily. They are not that mobile. And Leon and Coco deal very well with these type of knots. So it's going to be a tough match. And it's the draft is balanced, and I don't know what else to say. Lux is going to be a problem for the red team, and Scaldier Invisible is going to be a problem for the blue team. That's all I can think about.
The things I'm going to be looking forward to the most, actually, it seems like, to me, it looks like a team of displacement versus a team of tanks, and it's going to be how much does displacement affect tanks in this game. So we can see that. Again, going back to Leon, that changes to his invisibility. How does that play out? Otherwise, Baby Curry Mammoth being able to be picked up by the Starstorm Knots is going to be interesting versus Scaldier, but we'll have to see that in the game. So Skinner, are you ready to go?
I am ready at the 9-second mark, and if you would like to give the countdown, we can go right into our first game of this week.
Okay, on mark, we will go, and I'll count down from 3. So 3, 2, 1, mark. And they're off to the races, so Again, as I said before, I think Baby Curry Mammoth may be picked up by the tanks to avoid some of that displacement.
Well, yeah, now we see, let's take a look at the players here. The first player here, the first team I'm going to introduce is going to be Jess playing your Scoldier, Leader playing Coco, and she's got the Invis already, and the Octocog playing your Leon. You can see the bar right there on Leon. That's the bar of the Invis right now. Works just like Sinya. On the blue side of things, we got Wild Felony Dogs playing your Sentry. I don't know who that guy is. We have Niz playing Scoop, and lastly, Heavy Conqueror playing your mighty armored Lux here, Amy.
Speaking of which, everybody's going in with that dash, getting people pushed into that tower and just doing a whole bunch of work there. You see the tight tunnels have made quick work for Jimmy and put him in a good position, besides the health he's taken. They're going in aggressive on Scoldier, and Scoldier gets taken out. However, the DOT leaves the Evil Conqueror in a bad position, and he's going to back off before that. Leon uses his stealth wisely to assassinate. Unfortunately for him, he's back behind the lines, and Jimmy, or I guess Amy in this case, is going to have to head back.
Yeah, it's gonna heal. That was very risky, but first blood gonna go in for Lux here. That was very well played. He knew Scoldier was low. He chased him down through that tunnel, and he got the kill in the end. So it was very productive in the end. So now Coco getting the invisible once again, and let's see what they can pull off right now. Now see the control here is very, very balanced here. We see now Lux getting aggressive here to try to get that push I was gonna talk about.
Ooh,
Jess
that
in the bad position, and that is the black hole. Not taking a lot of damage, but Jess is low. And right now, there's a lot of fighting going on. Leader and Jess, 1 bar and 2 bars respectively. That was very dangerous. And now the push is going to happen for the blue team. And they are hungry. They are hungry for that push.
In terms of upgrades and items, everybody's got base skills except for Sentry, who's piggybanked into regen. Coco's now piggybanked into Heavenly Fire, which has received a little bit of a nerf. And Scoldier is piggybanked into Axe Range Trophy, probably looking to throw the enemy team right into the towers, even if they get the Baby Curry Mammoth.
Yeah, very interesting pickups here. I haven't seen the axe throwing trophy in a long time. I've been playing recently, and Scoldiers don't pick that up that much recently, but still, it might have to do with the fact that Lux right now has the Baby Curry Mammoth. I'm not really sure, but there's obviously a reason for it.
Oh, that's the reason right there. And Lux is trying to get out, but that extra distance plus the blaze might be enough to take him out, and it is Leon's slashy sword.
It's gonna be finally a kill for the red team here, American Mojo, getting the trade kill after a long time, and now Scoop is in a bad position. Red team is almost onto him, but the sick ball did hit. It did hit, but the bindings are gonna save him for now.
Oh, that throw
Just
though.
with the throw, Sentry is out of position, but he teleports out. That was very cheeky. And there we go. We're gonna go back to the footsie knots here, and well, let's see when another fight is gonna happen.
Well, I think it's proven well enough that the blue team's going to need to pick up some Baby Curry Mammoths. We can actually see Jim pick up one right away. Sentry's in a better position with the teleport as long as he has a beacon up, and Scoop's a little bit tanky with the health regen, so he can basically survive a lot of hits, so he's in a good position overall. That throw, though, is going to knock him out of his turret, and Scoop's going to be able to pop the punches. Jess extremely low, leaving invisibility be picked up by the blue team, trying to save himself with some lifesteal punches, but looks like he's going to get picked on by the Sentry. Is it a kill? It is a kill! And in the jungle we have another fight going off. We have the Sentry extremely low, looking to try to get out, but it's not going to be able to. Or is he? Nope, not quite with that. Leon slashing his backside.
Yeah, Leon was very cheeky. He knew the invis was up, and he went there and finished off Sentry. If I have to say something about that fight, it was that Scoldier. He lost more than half of his HP just to throw Scoop in. I don't think that was very worth it, to be honest, but because he lost a lot of HP and he was killed in the end. But thank God thank God they got killed thanks to that. Leon managed to, you know, repay the kill, but what if that doesn't happen? There you go, another throw, but Lux can just get out with the charge there. It's not a good idea to throw the Lux here. Maybe Scoop is a better idea to throw him. What do you think, though?
Given all the situations that are going on, I'd say that even Sentry, as long as they can apply the DOT to him to prevent him from teleporting, would be a good choice. Given how the builds are going right now, Sentry does not have Baby Curry Mammoth, and may not get it because he's picked up Piggy Bank into regen. We see a black hole going out, does not hit anyone, but Evil Dover managed to use his Fists of Justice to basically pick off the Leon right there. You can see at the top, we've got the Sentry getting really aggressive on Jess. Jess really low, and that snare almost getting him. Falls down with the gravity before he can actually get picked off. And thankfully for him, since this is such a vertical map, Earthquake allows him to fall a lot faster, which means in certain situations with Black Hole, he may be able to escape.
Yeah, that is very smart to use. He also has got best flowers. Flowers guarantee him so much, like, sustainability. He can't just stay in the battlefield. Close to droids, clear droids, he gets a lot of HP. Now he's gonna throw the Lux again, not a good idea again, he just charges away. But in the other hand, you can't just like deny his charge because he has to use it to run away. Scoop almost going down here, and Lux there, trying to do something, but red team now has control. Sentry kind of overextended, the black hole, get it? Caught things Coco and Skull there, but that's not gonna be enough. Miss trying to get the kill.
Oh, wow.
Scoop needs to run away because Octocock is there with the Leon, and he can do something. Right now, 3 kills for both sides. But right now, there's droids pushing in from the bottom tower. Scoop is there to clear though. The Octocock is in the animal jungle. Lux trying to fight Jess there. Not going to be able to get the kill, but they're both very low. And they just need to clear. Blue team just need to clear the push that's going to happen from the red team right now. It's not a lot, but it's certainly, well, it matters because that tower damage is not going to go up again.
Oh, of course not. Actually, in terms of... Oh, we have actually... Never mind, initiation going out, but not on both sides. We have the ball not hitting anyone, and the black hole does not get anyone either. It just denies a whole bunch of area. Sorry, in terms of key pickups, I'd say that Sentry's increased gravity. Never mind, we've got a charge on the bottom lane, like you're seeing before. Coco's in a bad position. Leon's in an incredibly bad position, has only a little bit of stealth left, but manages to get out with that 8 seconds of stealth. It seems that even though Leon did not have any... Oh, never mind, we have a fight going off. That black hole into charge into snare combo. Devastating, and the red team is unable to protect Skoldir because Leon's got no health to defend, and Coco is dead at the time. So unfortunately Skoldir got picked off given that he's such a large target.
That's the importance of control when you are a member advantage and you are 3v2 or 3v2. That's important when you have control. Right now the Octocock is being very aggressive. He manages to get out because he's so fast. He's got that life steal to get some HP back. But as I was saying, get the control of the enemy jungle, because if they use their jump pad, especially on Agilon, if they use that bottom jump pad, if they go up, and if someone is there like Lux that can push the opponent into the sentry that can just trap the opponent, that is huge, and that's exactly what they did, and they got a kill thanks to that. Very well done. Jess here is gonna go down for Scoop, slashing, and Leader is very low. It's gonna be a double kill for Scoop here. The Lux is so low, he's gonna manage to run away. That's unfortunate. The Octocock might die here. Binding's on him. He's gonna get the invis though. He's so low, but he's gonna be able to survive. He's got the spell running out. He's hiding in the bush. That hammer though almost takes him down. Oh my god. And he's gonna be forced to go back, heal, and the push is happening. They're pushing heavy on the top tower here. And that's the first actual push that's gonna be happening. Or Nasal, well, Salt. I said I would say Salt, but I see Nasal there in the top right. So.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to. But you just have to remember, in this game, and every competitive game, there's always going to be a little Salt.
Yeah.
So we have to see what they bring to the table that isn't Salt. And right now, they've been proving themselves really well. They've been consistently doing well, including Skoldir getting pinned into the jungle, getting picked on by the whole team, and the tanks just gave him a good old tank hug, just reminding him who's the bully in this game. Not Skoldir. Skoldir's had his limelight with the Axe Throwing Trophy, pulling them in, but has not been able to really capitalize on it as much as he could have. But with that Rubber Ducky stun punch, he might be able to do something about that. We'll have to see. Red team's going to need to cooperate to clear the droids as fast as possible and coordinate their attacks in order to take advantage of that. The health bars on the blue team are kind of hard to burn through, so Leon's probably going to have to build some damage just to kind of compensate for that and go for the DPS.
I'll have to agree. Right now, blue team is dominating in terms of picking their opponents up. They pick one of their opponents, and they go to one of the sides that their team cannot help. So one of the red guys is going to be alone, fighting 3 blue guys, and it's going to be hard for that guy to do something because Coco can run away if she gets speed on Blaze, which she's probably going to get. She's building Blaze right now. And, well, apart from that, Leon can't really run away too fast. Skoldir is fat, he can't really go anywhere if he gets pushed by Lux here. So it's very hard for the red team to do something when they get picked off, so that's what they need to avoid. They cannot be picked off. And there we go, they're getting picked off, but Lux misses the push,
that black hole.
But the black hole, cutting 3 of them. The missiles are gonna take, although that was the binding snake, he got Octocock down, Leader's gonna go down. Oh, he managed to get a kill actually, that's not that bad. They are gonna like benefit from that way more than the blue team because of the XP difference, but Jess is all alone, defending the push on top, and he can't really do a lot. That tower is gonna go down the black hole. Oh my god, that's a dead Jess! that black hole on point, that was amazing, and that's gonna be the first tower down at the 10-minute mark. That was insane.
That was really good team play from Salt. They've been really working together to add some sort of flavor to this dish we call a game. In terms of upgrades being picked up right now, you can actually see that blue team taking advantage of a lot of burst. They're going for lots of burst, lots of CC, and Jimmy in the luck spot, I guess aiming the luck spot in this case, has picked up more sustain through the nanobot machine, so he's going to try to sustain himself as much in the lane. We can see that the red team is going to get aggressive on the sentry right there. He's got no health, and they managed to get the kill. We have Niz being put into the corner, not being able to get out because the stun punches and Leon's tongue. They managed to get a double kill off that, and Evil Conqueror's got to go back unless he wants to get killed by the enemy team. So the red team, although having to deal with a super droid, is in a good position to push to save that bottom tower right now. Evil Conqueror can't defend 2 towers by himself, and he might even get trapped between them if he makes a poor play, just like that. He's getting pushed onto the left side of the map, which means he's in a very risky position. He has to get to the towers or else he's going to die.
Exactly what happened. That was the first big team fight that Red has won in this game, and that's gonna matter a lot. Now Sentry, getting pulled and pushed by the ball. That's almost a dead Sentry. That is very dangerous. Now American Mojo showing that they haven't quit yet. They are still very sexy here, and they are just showing that we haven't lost yet. So hey, don't push yourselves, don't push your luck too much, because if you do, we're gonna take advantage of that and get another wipe as we did right now. So be careful, blue team, we're still playing.
You see, the red team is actually, even though they're a tower down, they are in a good position to really take advantage of that. Blue team's going to have to play a lot more cautiously, especially given that Scoldier's picked up range on his punches, so he's got bigger range to initiate with those stun punches and basically force a team fight. So he's looking to get the initiation off. Meanwhile, Leon has the silent stun and party mask. He's looking to do lots and lots of damage from stealth.
Yeah, especially now that stealth is not a good, reliable thing that you can hide, basically. Stealth was used, okay, I'm gonna hide. No, stealth is now more used to initiate without your opponent knowing, because you don't have a lot of time to play around the stealth time. So, right now, blue team trying to get the push going, the red team is there defending. I think, yeah, Lux is smart. He's doing damage to that bottom tower, because they need to get that tower if they want to get full enemy jungle control. And that's what they need to work with, the blue team. But it's gonna be hard, because right now, after all of those skills that American Mojo got, it's gonna be hard for Salt to do anything actually. The pull going on, he doesn't have a lot of damage on the tongue, so that's not gonna be as dangerous as it could be. Just taking out, what, 3 bars out of Scoop here. Scoop now can just pick up a creep, and that is all good to go. So, yeah, a lot of footsie nods here, no fights being done here so far. But Invis is up, and Sentry's gonna get it. He's got a black hole, invisible. This might result in something right now.
Although he's just wasted it to clear the top, so he's looking to hold on to that and just initiate right here. Scolders might be able to get picked off. That damage from Teleburst does a lot of damage. However, it's at least in a bad position. The red team's trying to capitalize on that sentry, and he's trying to get out there. He can't teleport away because he uses the teleport defensively, and he's been hit, so he's actually going to go down to the red team by making a very aggressive play. It seems in this match, it's the counterplay that's winning. However, in this case, we get Scolder being pushed into the tower by Jimmy in the luck spot. Wow. What a dash, what a crash, and what a smash.
What a crash indeed. That Scolder had no idea what the hell happened. He just was there, and Lux was there too. And guess what happens? Scolder is dead. That's a problem, because this map is so tiny. Scolder, especially Scolder, a fat guy, can't really do much. And right now, that's the gangbang on the Octacock. He's invisible, they know where he is. He's gonna get HP, they know he's in the tunnels. That hammer is gonna hit him, but it's not gonna be enough. They might counterattack here on this Lux, but he's gonna just dash away. That dash just saved his life, and that's the beauty of the dash. He can just use it, save it properly, and use it to get out of almost any situation. That's why Lux is a good one, it's a powerful one. Right now we see Leon trying to initiate their own sentry, but it's not going to result in anything, and we're back to the clearing of this whole game.
Although, again, if the stealth warp comes up, we might see some interesting plays. They might get aggressive, especially on the sentry here, who's trying to run with low HP, managed to get some black hole charge and health back from those creeps. He's trying to stay alive as much as possible and take advantage of that black hole. You might see some fighting go up on top in a second. He puts down his beacon, he puts down his clone a little bit early, but that's not really going to do much for him. The black hole doesn't do anything for him as well, he just lets it go. You see that Jimmy's looking to get pinned in from behind, managed to get the both Leon and Coco. We have them going in. Jimmy's going to get killed by droids, and meanwhile on bottom we just have a death of Leon. So 1 for 1, and again the teams are in a different position. We have actually, Leader's going to pick up the invisibility right now as Coco. A good thing for him, because the lightning ball from point blank might be able to knock them into positions they don't want to be in. Just like that, you have the Sentry taking a lot of DOT damage, not be able to tell away, but he's got his full teleport, his whole Black Hole Sun. He should be able to take advantage of that on the enemy team and top with Scoop, but he's waiting on bottom for them to come down instead. Seems like he's getting right in position, but Scoop's going to have to follow up to really take advantage of it. Unfortunately, nothing's really come of it.
That full black hole scared the hell out of Coco and Scoldier there. They were afraid, they knew what was coming. They didn't want to step any further out of the turret because they knew what was coming if they did. So right now, we see some droids coming up, but that tower is kind of low. 4 bar is not that good. And Scoldier with that punch, he's got range on the punch, so you can just poke the tower as much as you want. Right now, Sentry trying to do something here. Oh, he's gonna get caught on the black hole. That's a long burst damage. That burst damage of Sentry, that's insane. And now Leon is kind of trapped here. The Octagon going down. Leader is all alone for the red team right now. He's gonna get the creeper. Lux is gonna poke her down so she can do a lot. And now that tower, that bottom tower, is not gonna live much longer.
Oh, it's going to go down right this second, and Leader's going to be in a bad position, given that Scoop's getting really aggressive on her face. Not going to get her killed, but it is still going to leave her in a position where she's going to have to return for HP. The blue team is currently up 2 towers against the red team, but that might change soon, especially given that Coco's picked up her movement speed on Blaze. Scoldier's got Snare on Earthquake, and Leon's got his attack speed combined with backstab, so he might be able to dish out a whole bunch of auto attack damage. We'll have to see that going on. Meanwhile, Scoops is going for more Snare, and we've got a fight going on top. Jimmy trying to get aggressive there, but not be able to do so. But fortunately for Jimmy, he's picked up both the overdrive gears, which allows him to have maximum cooldown reduction on both of his abilities. He's looked the way he's built to sustain with his auto attack and just do a whole bunch of work with his abilities. And that seems to be an interesting way to play Jimmy.
Cooldown reduction is very good on Jimmy, because especially on this map, he relies so much on the charge, and the cooldown is just gonna help him more and more. And right now we see a 1v1 going on here. Lux with that AA, that no skill AA, as a lot of people like to call. He's not gonna capitalize that much, but right now blue team, they are pushing the American Mojo back. And right now Scoop's got the invis. They might be up to something right now. They're gonna clear, but they're gonna stand back. Red team knows they're in invis. They're not gonna be aggressive that much because they know if they do, Scoop can just hammer, they go in, and boom, that's a kill right there. So they're just playing passive. You can see them being so close to the jungle and to the towers because they can get out as soon as they see something happening. Scoop already wasted the invis, if I'm not mistaken. Leon is there trying to do something very cheeky here on the bush, but it's not going to capitalize that much again. Oh, that's a black hole. He's going to get Jess, but the blue team is not in position to do anything. The hammer going to go in, but they are just still harassing. They're not going to go in for the fights. You saw them hesitating there. Scoop landed the hammer. They could go in, but they didn't. They hesitated. What's going on?
Well, given what we've seen from the play so far, it's very difficult for either team to really make a play. Counter-attacking seems to be the big thing in this game, and that's how most of the kills have happened. We can see here that the red team's actually controlling top really hard. Jimmy's going to get thrown, but that throw's going to give him a positional advantage against Coco. Fortunately, Coco is going to be able to jump up there and avoid being pinned to the turret. But that gives red team the invisibility for Scoldier, which is incredibly dangerous, as we might... Nope, not almost able to see right there, but the knockback pulse from the missiles from Jimmy protects him from that. We see here that the fight's going off in the mid. Jimmy's getting the position, use that dash with the low cooldown to just dash away, and red team's going to have to basically come back together to try to pick on one of those teammates of blue.
Yeah, we see Lux almost getting picked off by Leon there. The tongue was very well placed while he was doing the missiles. And right now, the black hole, the hammer almost capitalizing there. So much damage, the hammer, it's almost 400 damage on a single hammer. That's insane, and he even snares the enemy just to set up the fight for the blue team. They need to pay attention to those hammers, because if Scoop lands one good hammer right now, never mind about that, this is kind of low. That tongue is dealing a lot of damage right now. They might need to consider using that tongue to do something. Right now they're gonna go in. Lux needs to be careful about those missiles. If he activates the skill while in the bad position, that can be dangerous, especially with that Scoldier with that axe throwing. There we go. That knockback is almost killing Leon there in the tower. That's not gonna happen. Leon can just jump away. He's so low though.
Oh, not quite.
That charge is gonna kill him. Leader almost down, but he's gonna survive thanks to those creeps that was standing there. Now Jess in a bad position. He's really in a bad position. He's gonna get binded to head. The binds are not gonna hit. He's got the flowers. He's trying to hit. That was a very well placed bunch, but not enough. Sentry was expecting him to go down there. And well, when you expect plays from these high-level plays here, when you expect and you know exactly what the opponent is gonna do, that's a dead you, because you cannot be predictable, right? Especially when it comes to movement and juking and all that, especially in this fast-paced game as it is not.
Oh, exactly. Also, fun fact, there's a blue droid in the red jungle, which is because the Scoldier's throwing it. Oh no, it's getting killed right now. I was about to say, if they didn't take that out, that would have given the blue team a huge amount of vision if it had not been dealt with. And the blue team would know where the red team is more consistently, where the red team would know where the blue team is.
Yeah, the droids these days are being the true MVPs. We saw that in Warzone Weekly, that super droid. And right now, this droid trying to get some initiative, trying to give some callouts to the blue team, just scouting on that jungle. Well, the droids are getting smarter. That's the AI revolution, I guess.
I suppose so. I guess the AI wars are back. You can have the red team fight, but as long as they don't have droids, they're not going to win. We see here that the red team's going to try to get aggressive, throws the Jimmy Luck spot away. Given all the upgrades that have been picked up right now, they kind of want to not deal with the Jimmy. Scolders has been really good at consistently throwing Jimmy, but that's actually been the blue team's favor, so in this case, the best person to throw probably going to be Scoop or the Sentry, given the compositions that they have. We have the blue team just in a massive tanks right in that bottom stealth area, trying to get aggressive, but not able to do so. Leon's going to get in a bad position, but able to get out quite easily with his boots. We have the black hole going off with the bindings, possibly, not quite, but almost. That AoE damage combined with the whole blue team, just one black hole can mean death and a victory for them. The red team's got to be really careful with that and play around that. I think their best way to really focus down someone is single target initiations and assassinations.
Yeah, they really need to start to choose their targets better, because just throwing the Lux is not a good idea. He's gonna get positional advantage on your team, and if you do that, you're literally throwing. So right now, Leader getting on the black hole, hammer, bindings, boom, that's a dead you. Especially Coco, he's not a tank, he can't really just take a lot of damage. Jess is in a bad position, he's trying to juke with Scaldy, he's got the flowers, he can do something. The Octagon in the meantime getting picked up. Licks with that blade, if you can chase around an enemy for too long, you can just do a lot of damage. And with that attack speed, that's insane. Now Lux, there's a lot of fighting going on. Jess is almost down. The AA from Lux is gonna get caught in the black hole. That's gonna be a dead Jess. And right now, Leon is all alone.
Oh, except he might get picked up here.
He's gonna pick up the lifesteal, and then the rocket's gonna finish him off. Coco's already back, but she can do a lot. They're gonna be heavy pushing on the bottom lane.
Look at those droids.
Coco just has the ball to clear. That is not enough, I think.
That's like 3 droids in that tower right now, just knock you down. Thankfully her cooldown ball allows her to eliminate the droids as soon as possible. If it had been anyone else in their team, I don't think they would have been able to do it. Tower's already down to like a third of its health bar, and down to about a quarter. It's going to go down pretty soon. That's going to give Blue Team a huge advantage with pressure. Scoldier's trying to get the throw off, but doesn't quite get on the knots. Instead gets picked up by a whole bunch of damage going off on top. Blue Team really good at sticking together. If I could say anything for the red team, that last team fight where they had basically Coco die first, I have to give props to Dr. Octorok for picking up the scoop by himself and assassinating. That was what Leon's supposed to do, and he did a really good job of doing that. Although unfortunately it wasn't a win for the whole team fight, he did a good job just assassinating the scoop.
There we go, that's the tanking of the tower. Now they have access to the base, and Sentry's got a full black hole there. He's probably gonna run out soon, but let's see if they can pull anything off. Leon's gonna be busy clearing those droids that are very jumpy here. Very hard to clear, having a hard time doing that. And the blue team is so ahead right now. They have a lot of solar, they have more XP. It's just hard for... Oh, never mind what I was saying there, but the regen is gonna save him. The base regen, I don't know if he's got regen, does he?
He's got
has
Medican.
Regen.
And speed boost from the black hole charge, actually. So he's got that movement speed to compensate for his slow movement speed at base.
Just got out, and well, that's a denial kill there. That seemed so certain, but it wasn't. Red team must be frustrated at this point. They almost got a kill and a simple tech of regen. He just lives, and right now, look, the red team has the damage. You saw just the tongue deals almost half of the HP, but they keep getting picked off. Leader just got picked off again by the Lux. Jess being picked off by the black hole again, going to go down. The Octacock in trouble. They have base access. This is not good. The Octacock is going to teleport, and I find it hard to believe, but this might be game right here. They are going to be pushing into base. They are so tankish. can take a lot of damage, especially there's a Leon, AA, that's all he has. And Sentry's gonna be taking damage, gonna be dealing damage to that base from top. This is insane, they cannot stop this. I think this is game right now, Devmon.
I think so. Like, you saw that Leon just get instantly vaporized by one counter initiation from the blue. Yeah, that four's going down right now. I don't think there's anything they can do unless they can somehow wipe the team and push the four. Yep, half bar. Sentry's gonna cheese it from the top, and that's good game right there.
That's Sentry for you. Sentry with that explosion radius, the skull there, it's going to be the drive over skulls increases the explosion range of photo mines by 100%. You just put him there and you just hit the base from there. That's insane, and he got it. He managed to do it, and boom, there we go. That's the win for Salt. I'm not going to say Nasal this time. In the screen you can see Nasal, but just it's Salt. It's the chemical thing for Salt. So, all right, Devmon, let's talk about picks real quick. And yeah, what happened? How do you think that the blue team managed to keep picking off the red team? Because they were picking off only one of the opponents. They didn't fight 3v3. They fight 3v1, 3v2 all the time.
I'd have to say that even though the red team had incredible displacement between three different characters with three different types of displacement, I think the blue team played around that very well. I mean, you've got Sentry with his teleport, but even then, as soon as his teleport wasn't really doing enough to get away, he built 4 damage, and then he also built to basically escape through the Black Hole Sun, charge up, speed up. In addition, Scoop's got pretty good tank and built Baby Carry Mana to avoid some of that initiation, and same thing with Jimmy. Jimmy got a whole bunch of lifesteal and basically bulked up, so even though that they were being initiated on, they had the health pool as well to sustain to basically get in there, do a whole bunch of damage themselves, counter initiate, and walk out. Red team needed to really punish one target at a time, but the blue team was really good at staying together. If Leon had more tongues from stealth, maybe like ranged tongue, followed up by Scoldier's stun punches and Coco just to devastate one tank at a time, they might have been able to do it, but given the health bars to the blue team and just their overall bulk, and given how the red team has built, I think they need more single target assassinations overall, and that they could have built in different ways to basically assist it to that. Backstab was awesome. I like seeing the backstab for the assassination, but perhaps a Clover of Honor or Chainsaw might have been a better option for direct fighting.
Yeah, backstab. I think the reason he got backstab was to just profit more from the lifesteal. The clone, just place the clone behind a set of droids and you get a lot of lifesteal. Emily on main, that's how it works. You lifesteal, if you go lifesteal, you gotta have backstab to clear the droids, because your main income of lifesteal from AA, it's gonna be on the droids, because you're gonna be constantly clearing it and you're gonna be hitting all of the AA hits. So that's probably the reason he got it. I kind of agree with the build of Leon right now. They're speaking about him, except for Party Mask. He didn't initiate out of Invis with the Party Mask. With the AA, he initiated with Tongue. And Party Mask doesn't grant more damage to the Tongue, only AA. So if you're getting out of the Invis with Tongue, getting that upgrade is just a waste of money, and you're just denying one other stealth upgrade, which, well, you can't do. I think that was a bad option, but apart from that, I think he built correctly. He built the AA, the silence, obviously. Boots, yeah, of course, that's fine, just to outspeed the enemies because they were all tankish. As apart from the other builds, I think everything looks good here. Sentry did a fantastic job, not only with that awesome sick burst of the teleport burst. That teleburst was insane. So many times he just profited out of that. That was really, really good. Lux did a fantastic job too, and they managed to pick off the opponents. They basically overskilled them and they won. Congratulations to Salt winning over American Mojo, the top 3 team considered back-end Warzone Weekly, and they are done for this week because it's a best of 1 and they are eliminated from the bracket. Salt is going to proceed to the next phase, but man, American Mojo, one of the best teams, are going to stay in this round. Very, very surprisingly. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to go into our break right now. But before we do, we have a giveaway to do in the chat right now. It's going to be a Wicked Coco. We're giving away that, so pay attention to the chat. There's going to be instructions how to participate, so I hope you guys enjoy that giveaway, and we'll be right back for our next game of this live stream.
I'm here, bud.
Yeah, both here.
Hello everybody and welcome to the next match in the Awesome Brawl Weekly. My name is Slow Wolf and I'm joined here with Devon? Esther? Who am I with?
It's me. It's Edster.
Oh, holy crap. Hey Esther, how's it going, man?
I am doing good. I am looking forward to casting a marvelous match. We got a good tournament. Haven't had a tournament in a while, and yeah, it's exciting.
It definitely is exciting, for sure. And in the last game, we ended up seeing Salt take the game there, or?
Yeah, it was a pretty decisive win, actually. A very experienced team, Community American Mojo, being taken out by a team which hasn't really made a mark in the community before. So it was a very interesting game to watch.
Absolutely. Like I was watching it myself on the stream, and it was incredibly cool actually to kind of see that come together the way that it had. But we are here with a completely different series. We now have. What actually? Could you go into the teams, the picks and everything? I think it's about time that we got started with all of that business right out of the gate. To be honest with you.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's go into the picks and bans. So we are looking at Mature Dads versus Rusty Monty, and for this first game, Mature Dads are Team 1 and Rusty Monty is Team 2. Mature Dads opened up with a Leon ban, and Rusty Monty responded with a Genji ban. Mature Dads then picked up a Scoop and a Coco, and then Rusty Monty responded with a Yuri pick. With a Yuri pick, and a Yuri Ayla pick, and then Mature Dads had the Coco.
Which then brings us into our second. Yep. Sorry.
Rocco was then banned. Ted was then banned, and then we're looking at last picks of Skuldir and Penny. So overall, we're looking at a Scoop Coco Skuldir versus a Yuri Ayla Penny.
These are some pretty interesting lineups. I'm looking at Mature Dad's lineup right now, and I'm thinking, okay, so they got a lot of beef. Between Scoop and the Skuldir, they have a lot of meat to be able to soak up, and the Coco to back them up means that they have a lot of power behind it as well. Lots and lots of damage to make up for Scoop's perceived lack of it. At least so long as his bindings is on cooldown. The other team, though, has a pretty killer combo. If you've got Yuri and you've got Ayla, you know what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to do the double bubble routine. And that stuff's going to be absolutely frightening if they can manage to make it work. Plus, the clear that Yuri and Penny bring to the table means that they do have the ability to push. It's just that their turret damage might be a bit lacking. So they do kind of have to rely on the other team walking into mines or having something else horrible to them between the Ayla and the Penny to be able to really do things. Is there anything else that I missed here?
Well, I mean, if you just look at the way the team fights are going to play out, you've got Mature Dads, they're going to look to find one person, pick them off as quickly as possible to then benefit from that Halberd of Justice on Scoop, heal up half of his health, and then go in for the more fight, for the snowball. Whereas Rusty Monty, what they're going to try and do is they're going to be probably going for a bit more of the footsie game, try and bait out the abilities of Mature Dads, and then as soon as they catch them off guard, charge in. With the Yuri Ayla bubble, and then the Penny just for a pulse for Amplify. You know, the team fight from both teams is terrifying, but if Rusty Monty catch Mature Dads without abilities, then Mature Dads are going to go down extraordinarily quickly.
So Rusty Monty wins team fights. Mature Dads wins as long as they get a pick off.
Yeah.
Alright, well with that said, let's see if we can manage to... which team will end up coming out on top. I'm sitting ready to go with this replay. 9 seconds. Are you good to go?
I'm good to go, yes, indeed.
Alright,
I guess I will
count
do the
in.
countdown.
Yeah, you do the countdown. You do it.
So, we will go in 3, 2, 1, press play.
And here we are on Aiguillon. It's a competitive map favorite, to be honest with you, ever since the Alienware Awesome Cup #1. On the red team, you've got Roto MD playing Coco. We've got Nikki playing his Skoldir, and Ubi playing Scoop. On the blue team, you have Penny being played by Zadakor, Mr. Drumpf being playing your Ayla here today, and then finally Sam playing the Yuri. And as things start off, they're just skirmishing, they're doing things wherever they can. There is an invis on this Skoldir, and he's going to aim to use it right here, but unfortunately he gets wasted as Sam just gets tossed up behind his turret.
Yeah, Nikki is an excellent Skoldir. He's going to know exactly kind of the places he can pressure to look for these throws, and his team, being quite experienced, they're going to be ready to capitalize it. We're seeing a little bit of Ayla going in, but nothing really happens.
Yeah, that's the thing. A good Ayla player doesn't commit to a fight unless if they can rage in properly. And with Ayla here, Mr. Drumpf obviously knows how to play. Goes in with rage, quickly does an eye, backs right out. Simple enough. Puts himself at absolutely no risk whatsoever and manages to still deal a decent amount of damage. That will probably continue to be a theme until they start to get this double bubble working with the Yuri, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think a bit of a fight happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the Ayla's going to try to chase down Nikki and will succeed. And Sam will end up picking up the last hit there. Really well done. The mines, not quite enough to clear out a droid wave with 2 mines anymore. This is post 3.14. Another kill going out from Mr. Drumpf there, very good chase. But it's important to recognize that some of these characters have received nerfs and changes to them that make a decent deal of difference in terms of their power levels. So Skoldir's axe throwing trophy has been changed. It now does 0.1 of a second less stun, which is, a little significant. Yuri's probably the biggest changed one here. What with his mines now doing 3/4 the damage that they used to against droids. His bubble no longer has double slow. Lots of important things going on there. On top of that, Scoop got a bug fixed to his Halberd of Justice, as Devmon mentioned earlier, and that has come out. So we are going to see what this Scoop is going to be capable of pulling out with this new upgrade, really. And it is pretty much a brand new world for that upgrade, as that thing does a lot. For my pub games, that thing heals you for like thousands at a time. It is so good.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of how this game's going, it's kind of going in the way of Rusty Monty at the moment. They're getting exactly what they wanted, which is a nice early game. They had those 2 early kills, and I think Rusty Monty, they've also had a piggyback into Solo Crabburger, so they're wanting to get to that point where they can go in and win these fights as quickly as possible. Otherwise, we might be seeing Ayla go for a long game and maybe picking up BKM in addition, which would actually be a very good pick this game. But if they can get this sort of early game going, get to that point where they can confidently win team fights, even if there are a couple of abilities up on Mature Dads, then they're in a really strong position. So they're just going to be waiting patiently for that to happen, but those 2 early kills are really going to accelerate them towards that point.
Especially as a team fight comp. Another thing I've noticed here is that Yuri's managed to pick up double mines here, like the mine damage of all things. I don't know what to feel about this one. Like, it makes sense. Mine damage equals clearing, equals, like, actual damage against turrets, against people, all that stuff gives you a little bit more lane clearing capability. But at the same time, I've got to wonder if that's necessarily the best pickup. What do you think?
I mean, the other kind of rivaling pickup would be the slow on bubble, but I guess in the early game they're playing a little bit more passive from Rusty Monty. As I said, trying to wait for that point where they have the upgrades they need to just go in. So they're going to use this mine damage to try and zone out the Skoldir, zone out the Coco, stop them from getting into these really positions where they can pick them off if they step just a little bit out of tower. And it just gives them that flexibility and map control they need.
Now, that flexibility and map control is necessary for characters like to move around. Zadakor quite low. Nikki's going to try to chase as best as he can, but the Earthquake is not going to be able to catch the tail end of that fox, and she will get away just fine. But yeah, it seems that with the team like what we have here on Rusty Monty, you definitely do need to have that kind of zoning potential and getting to that critical point where you actually get that team fight. So yeah, I'm willing to agree that makes a lot more sense now that you've explained it to me. Thank you for that. We also have boots being picked up by Penny. We also have the graveyard worker upgrade. This is Zeri mechanic, but it looks like it's holding a shovel, and it looks like the graveyard guy from Ocarina of Time. Either way, that's going to mean that she's going to be pouncing around all over the place, and I'm kind of excited to see how that one works out, to be honest with you. I don't think I've seen that upgrade picked up early on a Penny yet. So, actually, did Penny get a lot of changes to her at all in this last patch?
She had some light nerfs across the entire board, making quite a reasonable reasonable effect. She lost a lot of damage everywhere. Robo's going to be reconnecting there and goes down. It's a bit unfortunate, but You know,
that might be considered a bit rude, but
it's a bit rude, but it was a bit out of position, so it's in that kind of grey area where it's not quite not quite something we can be annoyed at Rusty Monty for doing.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of games change because people were good-mannered and then just couldn't get kills as a result of the person who was being good-mannered always, the person who was reconnecting always managing to get away from situations where they were reconnecting. And it seems like Sam has gone for the longevity on the mines as well. Out comes the throw, the earthquake, lots of left click damage coming in. Salmon is going to go down to the red team. Well played. Ubi's going to need to back off though as he takes a little bit. Penny's going to take a lightning ball in the face. Is low, tries to go for the pulse, will not find it. Down goes Rotto. Really well played by Drumpf there, managing to get the very well placed rage safely behind a wall, but still just close enough to get that last little tick of damage. Making for a 1-for-1 exchange, which is really, really important that if they're going to have someone on their team die, especially if someone as important as that Yuri, that they pay for it in blood if they can.
Yeah, I mean, it initially looked like a fantastic fight for Mature Dads, because they had the pick-off, and as I said, with the Halberd of Justice, they were able to get that increased health in the scoop. But because it was the Yuri that died, and the Yuri had almost done his job by slowing everyone and making them be out of position, the Ayla and the Penny were then able to pick off the Nords. We're seeing a throw out there, and that's a very nice pick-off. Exactly what Mature Dads want to do, find the pick-offs, get the kills, and stop, just slow down Rusty Monty as much as possible.
Yeah, the throw, followed by a snare lockdown, and then just whatever Coco can do, because Coco just does the damage. She's such a good damage dealer from such a safe place, especially when you got two tanks like this doing all the beef and doing all the initiating for you. All you need to do is sit back and wait for a good time to lightning ball. And even then, with the cooldown reduction upgrade that she does have, that means that she can just like whip out a lightning ball every once in a while to harass as well. So she's always ready for a little bit of action, and she's always able to do that damage that her team needs. Now, this Scoop has managed to pick up the Twisted Lance, which is a really good upgrade. What do you expect to see out of him next? Because I kind of see Scoop as not pivotal to this team, but really nice to have. And depending on what upgrades like he ends up going, that'll end up being like a team healer with the Chalice and the, with the Bavinian Milk, or he'll end up going for straight damage, Brawl dealer kind of deal, where we see a lot of pub Scoops going.
Yeah, we're either going to see, as you said, two builds. I think he's either going to go Hammer, where he'll go Hammer damage and then the Snare duration. That's going to be a lot, put them very focused on the pickoffs, because then they don't have necessarily the bindings damage that they would have if they build bindings. But if they get the Hammer damage and Snare time, they find a Hammer, then Skulder can just go in, get the throw, and then the Coco Ball, they can easily pick off 1-0, and then, get the momentum going. But if they have the bindings damage, then it's going to be easier for them to get the kill if they find someone out of position. So it's kind of balancing what's more important, getting the kill when someone's out of position or getting someone out of position in the first place.
Well, we'll find out later. Oily Spray on Tan leads me to think that Scoldier's looking to find those initiations more than anything. He's actually quite low. Zadokor looking to get a left-click kill on him and will succeed in doing so, but now needs to get out. This Penny is so locked down. Does end up getting picked off by Ubi, but that Blaze was the MVP for that kill right there. Sam will bubble away, drop a couple of mines, and just, float away as the monkey do, and safely get back to his area. So that'll be a 1-for-1 pick-off. The Penny sacrificing herself to get a kill, really, as she put herself in a horrible position. Drumpf getting caught out, a well-placed hammer. Now Rotto's looking for a kill, will not quite find it, as Ayla's tiny form is not going to be able to get hit by that lightning ball in any significant way. Other upgrades that are important to look at here, we've managed to pick up Size, the neon jumping rope for the Ayla, so her rage now is larger and easier to hit with. We've got a reduced cooldown and on the Pounce, and a Herring Snack Badge for the Penny as well. Zadokor getting thrown, out comes a punch, a couple of sword slashes, and that will be the end. The Earthquake will get the Olay there. Ayla's trying to look for a revenge kill, will not find it, is quite low, bumps into Ubi and the Skoldir, gets slammed in the face with a very angry Nordic Fist. And that'll be the end of that. A 2-for-0 pickoff for the red team. Mature Dads managing to bring this game very much back in their favor over the last couple of minutes. Very well played by them.
Bills are now tied 5-5, and I would like to point out the Coco is building slow on Blaze, which is an excellent upgrade when you're dealing with Ayla and Penny. These are two very squishy Nords that if they're slowed down and can't get to you to deal the damage they need to, then they're going to struggle. Especially Penny. If you slow the Penny, her Pounce has reduced range, so she might not even reach you with the Pounce. And the Ayla, of course, if you can keep the Ayla away with slow, then that's really going to help. And we're seeing interesting upgrades on the Yuri. We're seeing CC immunity on the bubble, and we're seeing 2 stages of the slow. And
This
the
is
CC
interesting.
immunity, yeah, the CC immunity is very interesting. It's an upgrade which is very strong, but you don't see it very often. But in this game, it's definitely a good pick when you have a Skulder and a Scoop, both looking to snare you, both looking to throw you, and you've got the Cocoa Ball knockback, of course, to consider, and the slow I just mentioned. You've got a lot of CC that you're going to be becoming immune to, so that's really, really going to help them out.
It used to be a really good counter pick most of the time until double slow really hit its peak again in patches before this one. But with the double slow upgrade potential gone, they got rid of one of the slow upgrades just entirely. That's not the case. And Sam tries to fly away but does not have enough HP to survive the Olay unless if there is... Just manages to pick up the creep there on the backside. Will survive, but only by the skin of his monkey teeth. Well played. Drumpf trying to run away with Rage. Will manage to survive as well. The red team's looking for another pickoff, but hasn't found another one for a little bit. What's scary about this is that until this point, the spent solar, the amount of solar that each team had, was actually in favor of blue. They were slightly more powerful in terms of upgrades before all this, and now that the red team has the solar advantage, oh, never mind, forget I just said anything. Huge 2-for-1 exchange. Now Drumpf is trying to chase down Ubi. Will succeed in getting the kill with side, of course, help. Will tank the turret a little bit, but it's just not enough. Penny goes down. That'll be a 3-for-2. A team wipe for 2, though, is still pretty fair, and Drumpf is going to go ahead and whack this tower down instead of building up a wall. Ironic.
Mature dads need to be really careful that the Scoop is the one that's going to be taking most of the damage in this, and they manage to get the kills at the right time to keep the Scoop at high health. If the Coco and a Skulder go down, that's pretty much most of their damage gone. Although Scoop has now built bindings damage, but if he doesn't have bindings on cooldown, all he has is his AA and pray for his hammer cooldown in these fights, and that's often not going to be enough for him. So it's kind of important how the damage is distributed when fighting against mature dads. And
Trump gets thrown, gets picked off. Ubi manages to get the kill. Penny tries to go back in to do some damage, but even with the help of the rocket droid, will not be able to do enough damage there to get a return kill. So that's gonna be another one for nothing pickoff for mature dads here. Yeah, everything that you're saying rings really true, and with Scoop in particular, I feel like he is a tank, but he's a tank that relies so much on his cooldowns that if you've managed to find him with his cooldowns down, he's going to be more or less useless. Even, like, and especially now that he's going for damage, there's no, like, support, there's no way to save his team. He just has to make sure that he's doing enough damage to do what he can do. I also see the knockback ball on the... Oh, wait, never mind. Sam taking a lot of damage. That Earthquake might just kill him, and it did. A good Olay kill by Nikki there with the Earthquake damage. And now the red team's poised to start taking some serious chunks out of the blue team's turrets. This is a really important moment for them. If they can manage to take this turret and do a lot of damage to the other one and keep this momentum going, they are solid. Nikki taking some damage off the eye. Rage is going to do a little bit more, but Trump needs to run. He gets surrounded, punched to death. Well played by Ubi, managed to pick up the last hit with the sword.
I mean, it doesn't actually matter if Scoop gets the kill. The Halberd of Justice is just when an enemy dies, you heal half of your health. It doesn't matter where they are on the map, where Scoop is. Even if Scoop is dead, well, he'll heal it in a drop pod, which doesn't really make any difference. But yeah, the last thing doesn't matter. It's just really important that Mature Gaming gets the kill quickly in the beginning of the fight to just ensure they can snowball forwards.
And if anything, that one upgrade being changed to work the way that Ronimo intended it to at first does give him the ability to help his team to snowball. At least from the little bit of pub play that I've managed with Scoop, that has been such a really fun upgrade to work with. Although I have a feeling it's maybe a titch overpowered now. I mean, we'll see what the pros think, but I think that it's quite strong at the very least.
Yes, Scoop is considered one of the most, if not the most powerful competitive notes at the moment. Like, he was already strong, and then that upgrade started working, people started taking it, and yeah, it's very, very effective in games. I've been both on the using side and on the receiving end of it, and it is extremely powerful. One thing I would like to point out, we're seeing Knockback Ball on the Coco. Coco's Ball is now maxed out, so we're not seeing Heavenly Fire, which was changed relatively recently, so the damage, and I think the slow as well, from the blaze generated by Heavenly Fire is 50% the effectiveness, but we're seeing Nikki being brawled down bottom, and they actually managed to save him. That's an incredible save from Ubi and Rodo, moving in to save Nikki, and Sam's having to run away.
How? How did that happen?
That's the thing,
Ayla was so gonna get the kill. I don't understand how he survived. Well played by Nikki though, and his team. I'm genuinely impressed that he's alive though.
You see, that's the way kind of Rusty Monty's comp. Even though at its core it's very effective, it does fail if they go in and mature dads have all of their cooldowns available. If they're able to use their abilities, they can burst people down very quickly. And
speaking of burst, that's what ended up happening to Ubi and to Rado. They both get picked off, although Zadokor, quite low, is only just barely going to survive thanks to picking up a couple creep kills. And with Nikki so low, he will have to teleport home, which gives blue team the chance to start retaking some ground. No chance for a turret, I don't think. But they do have the ability to start making their getting some experience, getting some solar back, making sure that they've got a little bit of ground to work with before the next big fight happens.
Yeah, Nikki's back in lane. They might get a bit of damage. They might chip bottom. In fact, bottom is already chipped on the minimap, as you can see. But getting a tower here seems very unlikely.
A couple of important upgrades that have been picked up. All 3 ranks of the only slow upgrade on Yuri's bubble now have been picked up, so the slow bubble is working. He also started going for a generation pod. Oh, that's gonna have to wait. Drumpf takes a lot of damage. He's running away as fast as he can go. Sam will probably end up dying to the bindings, and there he goes. Well played by Ubi. Zadokor is on the wrong side of a Skoldir. Skoldir will pick up the punch kill. He did recently pick up Pale Mead, so he does do a reasonable amount of damage, and it doesn't help that he still has the Oily Spray on Bronze, giving him a ton of DPS. The red team is not going to go in and start doing some damage to this bottom turret. There's no way that Ayla can do anything here. She's useless here.
What Nikki just did was incredible. He actually threw the sheep, or the health creep, just to proc the oily spray. He knew he wasn't going to be able to throw the penny, so he throws the creep to get the increased movement speed and the oily spray, and then gets in position to body bot the penny and punch him down. That's an incredible play from Nikki to get that kill.
Nikki is definitely one of the best Skoldiers in the game. And probably that has ever been in the game, as far as I can tell. His Skoldir is frightening.
It's stellar.
If you ever have the unfortunate pleasure of having to go up against that, it is murder. Speaking of murder, Donald Trump managing to pick up 2 kills there. However, that is a 2-for-1 trade as Penny goes down as well. The only one left alive now is this Coco, who does eat an evil eye, gets raged, she just barely dies. On the flip side, though, Mr. Drumpf goes down as well, so that'll be a 3-for-2 pickoff. The only one left alive is the monkey.
Yeah, that was perhaps Mature Dad being a little bit too overzealous, and they were pressuring that top tower a lot, and they ended up whiffing a couple of their abilities, and then Ayla and Penny just knew they could just go in with uncontested damage, and that's exactly what they did. They turned a 2 versus 3 into a 2-for-3, which is, that's definitely a favorable trade for them at this point.
Absolutely. A couple of other interesting things. Pills are starting to come out in droves. We've also got double barrier mag coming out for this Coco as well, so that Coco's hard to kill. Nikki is going to eat a rage, and an eye will manage to get out of there. This Rado, on the other hand, will not. Coco gets picked off by Zadokor, and a well-placed pounce. Good stuff. Wow! That evil eye just took a huge chunk of HP out of Skoldir. He will go down as well. That's only Ubi left. Scoop can't defend against this. Scoop can barely walk. So this is so Scoop's gonna have to play safe.
If Scoop's able to get a hammer and bindings and pick up one of them, he might actually be able to. But because the Helmet of Justice would just heal him up, and he could probably continue to fight. But no, it's not going to be. The tower's going to go down, and Ubi's just going to play it safe, stay alive, and just make sure he's ready for when his team come in for the next fight. Which
that is so important too. Lane. That is so important that he doesn't die here. If Ubi dies here, then. Again, he's not like the pivotal part of this team, but he does do so much for his team that it's like he does need to be around. If he's dead, then they're messed up. They're not going to come out of this.
We're starting to see Scoop. He's finished the damage on Hammer, and now he's building for that snare time, as I mentioned he might go for earlier. So that's really going to help them if they can... now Rusty Monty are out of position in more places, because Ubi lands the Hammer with the snare time. Skulder can just waltz on in and get the throw, as he's about to... But he has the CC immunity, so he stays alive. Wow.
Continuity device. What a brilliant pickup. Does that apply to everybody in the bubble, or just him? Do you know?
It's just him. I think it was everybody at one point, and I think it got changed.
Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah, I was pretty... I knew that it did that to everybody at one point, but I'd forgotten whether or not they had changed that.
I don't think that period of time was very long-lived.
For good reason.
Pretty good reason, yeah.
Alright, Frozen Hammer... The Frozen Hammer snare is an upgrade I don't see very often. And I do understand why he's picking it up here. It makes a lot of sense. but why do you think a lot of people don't pick it up often, like in pub play or something?
In terms of the snare time, it generally requires a team to be useful. Scoop, if you're going to go in one-man Rambo style, you get more damage output if you play with the bindings. But if you're with a team, going for that hammer, getting the range, getting the snare can really help, especially if you have a lot of damage dealers on the team. If you have a Clunk, you have an Ayla, you have those kind of things. Even a Yuri, I've seen Scoops and Yuris where the hammer sets up the bubble and then they have an additional team dealer. You know, it's really useful for securing your initiate in the team fight. And in competitive play, team fights are a lot more important than the kind of one-on-one.
Oh, and Vince Skoldier gets the throws. Zadokor is in a bad spot, gets completely picked off. Coco getting the last hit. Good lightning ball coming up, but Nikki's now in a bad spot as well. That'll be a 1-for-1 trade. Sam will pick up some of that money. Donald Trump trying to find something. Gets lightning balled. Starts getting cut up by Ubi, but it does not go down without a fight. However, it does not matter because Ubi has the Halberd of Justice, and that will heal him back up to almost full. The red team gonna try to snowball in, take out this top turret, and start going for the core with a little bit more of an earnest try. Good lightning ball, also going to knock this Yuri back, making it a little bit more difficult to have to deal with it. Sam's going to try to do something about Coco, but Coco's just running interference. They might even pick up a kill! Whatever! So manages to get the good lightning ball off and picking off the kill with the lightning, with the blaze, sorry. That was incredibly well played by Rado there. Poor Sam getting completely just murder-fied by the Coco. That was rough to watch.
Again, I mean, at the beginning, that looked like a fantastic fight from Rusty Monty as they caught mature dads out without their abilities, and they managed to get a lot of damage in. But that Halberd of Justice is so powerful. They didn't even secure one kill because the Scoop just about to die, and then Ayla died, and Scoop back up to half health. It's such a powerful upgrade, especially when all the abilities are down and you're in like a scrap where everyone's low health. If someone goes down, Scoops all of a sudden back up to a health level where you can continue the fight and pressure for more kills.
Absolutely, and that just gives him more time to get his cooldowns, and like we said before, he's crazy about the cooldowns. Sam's going in with the bubble, will not find anything. Does get killed instead by a very well-placed lightning ball and blaze. Nikki trying to find something to do here. Throws the droids, gets in, starts trying to punch his way into the core, and he will do so. This core is now taking damage. That'll be 2 bars already. Scoop's going to come in right afterwards. The Coco's still alive. The Yuri is still down, and that's probably their best. That's probably the blue team's best defensive option. Gone for this core defense here. Ayla on the backside. They know to back off, and so they do for now. But we'll see what ends up happening. This still smells like there's a fight brewing here.
Yeah, it looks like the red team might initiate using this invis. If Nikki gets that, he might be able to secure a throw. The Ayla would be the best target for them to kill off early, because if they can get rid of the Ayla, that's basically all the continuous damage from Rusty Monty gone. Yes, they have the Ayla, the Yuri, and the Penny for like kind of burst, but at this point the health of mature dads is enough to survive that. It's the Ayla that's going to do most of the killing.
Speaking of most of the killing, there is some killing that wants to happen. Drumpf looking for something, misses the eye, will not get it. Sam on the flip side, however, does get murdered. A well-placed throw will pick up the kill. Now Trump's running as fast as he can, gets eyed, but the eye is only just enough to pick up 1 kill, but a trade at this point is not what they need. Zadokor gets punched to death, and that'll be a team wipe for 1. So that'll probably be your game right here. Yeah, that's most definitely game as Coco and Skoldier start ripping apart this blue turret. And this is going to be another 10 seconds before the Yuri, which is arguably the least powerful defensive option they have
no way.
right now. Yeah, it's done.
Base DPS is too high. This game is over.
Yeah, and that... Oh, excuse me? Thank you. I was going to say, pardon me? You're just going to leave it? Nah, they're being funny. But yeah, that's game 1. For mature dads. Very, very well played, especially considering in the very beginning it seemed like it was tipping in Blue's favor, and then they just they had one too many bad fights, and mature dads started taking it. Halberd of Justice definitely proving that it is a worthwhile upgrade, especially for the cheap price of 150 solar.
Yeah, I think that game came a lot down to once it hit the late game, even though Rusty Monty had the better team fight, as to say, which is normally what kind of determines what wins, but because the map had opened up, there was less pressure for mature dads to use their abilities, and therefore Rusty Monty never really found the opportunity to go in with a team fight when the abilities were used. And similarly, because the map had opened up, Rusty Monty had to they had more places they had to walk into to get, they had to move further away from safety if they wanted to be effective in lane, and it allowed Mature Gaming to find the pickoffs more easily. It just, as it progressed, the roles of Mature Dad's team just became gradually more effective as Rusty Monty's just became gradually less effective. I mean, either team could have won that game, but it was just well played from Mature Dads to just keep finding those pickoffs and keep the pressure on the map.
Yeah, I agree. Rusty Monty needed to be able to find more opportunities to be able to force team fights, force Mature Dads into situations where they had to fight against the double bubble. But the double bubble never really picked up, despite the damage coming out and everything else. So I'm not sure what to attribute it to. The Ayla went for the only build that makes double bubble work. You go for the damage and the size early on, but I don't know, maybe the Yuri could have changed up his build to do something a little bit different. Maybe going mines early wasn't the key here. Maybe the penny just wasn't the pick. I'm not sure which, but the execution wasn't there, and that'll be your first game of the 3 for Mature Dads. We've got part 2 of this best of 3 coming right up, so we're going to take a quick break. You guys stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Take care, guys.
Reach the point where you can't go on. Just come to me, you'll be safe from harm. If you trust in me, then I'll trust in you. There's nothing more that I need to do. If you put your hands in front of mine, we'll be shining through one at a time. Just understand you're not alone, and if you want, you can always come home. 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 You can always come home.
Microphone activated.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this best of 3 between Mature Dads and Rusty M. My name is Slow Wolf, and joining me on this particular game, we've got Burhi. Hello, Burhi. How are you doing?
Good day! Welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm looking forward to casting this one.
Yeah, you and me both. Why don't we just go ahead and immediately start talking about it, because that last game was awesome. And this game shows some changes as a result.
Should we start with the picks or the bans?
I think we should just go in ban and pick order. So, shall I or shall you?
Go ahead, Mr. Wolf.
All right, well, in that case, then, round 1 bans ended up being Ted and, that would be Rusty Monty that ended up banning out the Ted. Mature Dads actually banning out the Scoop, and that was their pick last time, so they obviously didn't want to have to deal with it on the other team. Rusty Monty then picks up Genji, Mature Dads then pick up Coco and Ayla. Then Rusty Monty picks up Froggy G. Afterwards, Rusty Monty bans out Leon. Mature Dads bans out Yuri. Rusty Monty then picks Clunk. And then finally, Mature Dads is going to pick up a Lone Star. And not that we have not seen very often in the competitive scene, at least before this particular tournament. So all of this compounded by the fact that they're on Aiguillon. This is an interesting one. Burhi, would you like to talk about the strategy behind all this? Because right now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking things, but I could use some help.
Are they on Aiguillon? I've got the one being on Ribbit. Have I picked the wrong replay?
I meant Ribbit, sorry.
Okay, you did mean Ribbit. Okay,
I did mean Ribbit. I'm looking at the right draft. Yeah, I did mean Ribbit,
however. My heart rate just went like skyrocketed, like, oh god, what's wrong?
It's okay.
So, let's start with the bans then. So, good bans banning Ted and the Yuri from both teams, one on each. Both really strong on this map, and just really infuriating to deal with. Ted can just sit at the bottom, bam, that airstrike right in the middle, just like harass everyone in the middle. And of course, you all know what Yuri does on Ribbit.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Speaking of which, surprised not to see a Derple. On top of that, it's worth mentioning that Ted did get nerfed a little bit in that last patch. His airstrike does do 3/4 the damage it used to, and although it does reveal the central area for a brief flash now, so that is good. But airstrike still does a ton of damage, and it can pierce the entirety of Ribbit, which is a very vertical heavy map, especially in the middle, so even with that nerf, it's still very important. What else are we looking at, though? I'm looking at this Clunk and Genji pickup, and I think we all know what's happening here.
Yeah, I mean, since Genji came out, that comp has been a really good pick. It just gives Clunk so much. What's the word? Sustain and shield. It's that shield gives him a lot of
survivability
to play with. Yeah, survivability. Because he's going to damage himself. He's going to take less damage to himself, as well as he goes in and gets up really close. He's going to take a load of damage to the face, and that just means he can just get in and get out a lot better. And with the speed up blasting, which they're probably going to get pretty early on, it's going to be quite a good combination, along with that cocoon, which just sets up so beautifully for both Froggy G and the Clunk. This is going to be really hard to deal with.
Okay, so quickly before we jump into this game, last question I got. Lone Star.
What's
Lone Star going to do here?
He is going to probably take down that very top turret first. We're going to see that red turret, top turret go down. That's my prediction. The first turret, probably within the first 5 minutes. That's kind of his thing on this map. With the top turrets being so close together, if they can get that mid and hold that mid, that top turret is going to go down very quickly with Lone Star.
All right, well, with that said, shall we begin? I am currently sitting in the replay. I am good to go.
Let's.
All right.
You did.
In that case, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. And we're off. On Ribbit. It's green. It's friendly. There's a giant robot in the background. Doesn't really matter all that much. On the red team, we've got Mr. Drump playing the frog. On the blue team, we've got... on the red team, on the Genji, we've got Sam. And finally, Zadakor on the Clunk. Now we're talking about the blue team. Finally, Rado on the same Coco he was on before. Ubi playing the Ayla. And then Nikki playing Lone Star. The brand new, awesome-looking Lone Star that just looks fantastic. I'm so happy with that particular character rework. It's not even like an actual mechanical rework. It just looks prettier.
I can't wait for the rest of the reworks they're planning as well. Clunk's next, I believe, but
oh yeah,
I can't wait for that. And I've not seen anything
it's gonna be
of it,
real
so I
good.
just can't wait for it to show.
Let me just tell you this right now. It's gonna be real good. Good Explode coming out as well. Actually, we'll be coming back in, doing some damage to that Ayla. We'll probably need to back off though, and does so relatively speedily thanks to that bounce pad. Now, This
Lone Star
frog
already doing work on
kinda
that top
waiting.
turret.
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
see there's like a little bit of chip turret. That's what he's going to do. He's going to pop it. Ooh!
Very well placed couple of blaster shots out of Nikki, but unfortunately does get picked off by Sam in return. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. With the red team coming out slightly out on top of that one, oddly enough. They do have slightly more experience right now and slightly more room to work with. If this Lone Star goes down, I just realized how much ground the blue team ends up losing. That the huge amount of push that character can do is instrumental to blue team's success, I think.
It's the large amount of stage control Lone Star can put out. Along with that bull and the dynamite at range. Just does a lot for the team.
Absolutely. Plus, it's important because Zydecor's got Explode, and if there's one thing that Clunk does not like, it's a bull pushing him away from his exploding target.
Yeah, this is going to be, a good play. They just want to keep the Lone Star alive as much as possible because that bull is going to be instrumental in this game to just shut down Zydecor's Explodes.
Interestingly enough, he's not going into the bull first. He goes into lifesteal grenades, out comes the Explode, it ends up hitting the Lone Star? Oh, the Lone Star was up there. Just jumping around, doing what Lone Stars do. Lone Star things, hashtag. But Lone Star is picking up a lifesteal grenade here, instead of going for bull upgrades. How good are lifesteal grenades these days?
Baseball is all you really need for Lone Star until you sort of get to mid-game when you want to sort of be upgrading that for whatever purpose you want for it. It's good at base for now. The lifesteal grenades are decent. I've not really tried them out in this patch. Have they been changed this patch, are you aware?
No. But the flat regen rate that you get for landing each one, it's pretty good, but I haven't felt like it was ungodly or anything. Snare Bite being picked up by the Clunk. It is decent
because of the low cooldown of Dynamite as is, it gives you so much regen. Much better than the regen upgrade. It gives you a lot more sustain and just be able to hang around in the lanes a lot more, particularly as you're going to be clearing the droids with them anyway. You're getting a lot of sustain.
So as far as other important upgrades, Explode coming out, it's going to miss
synergy
everything.
on the Cocoon, but
more
chance for that later on.
Damage will back off. Yep. As far as other important upgrades going on, we do have Snare Bite coming out for the Clunk. One rank in it. I'm not sure if we'll see both. That'll be up for you to tell me. We also have limited Mutant Worms Limited Ninja Edition, so that's the extra burst of damage every time you manage to land your attacks. Ayla picking up the Solar Crab Burgers and the Size on her Rage as well. So some pretty typical upgrades coming out. The only one that seems to stand out to me, actually, is that, first off, Size before damage, and second, the Lifesteal Grenades so early.
I think in general this is pretty standard. Even with those, I mean, they're not typically seen, but again, pretty standard. That's a good Cocoon, and hangs around long enough. Zydecore jumping on that Cocoon just in time, and they pick up a follow-up kill on Ubi. Good follow-up by Sam, chasing him down. And they've got a free push 3 against 1. Nikki will try his best. Thankfully, he's Lone Star, so he can clear quite well. This is another dangerous moment. The bull was down. He'd used the cooldown on the bull. He really needs to save that for the Explode. He maybe had a chance if he'd saved it, but other than that, red team have pretty much a wipe, and looks like that turret's going down.
Yeah, that was an incredible number of chain kills. Like, they kind of went one in after the other. And that ended up being really ugly for them. A couple of them get picked off. Lone Star gets a little bit greedy, starts trying to defend from a dangerous position, and then gets picked off instead. They end up losing another turret as a result of being able to save it. Like, those are kinds of the mistakes that you cannot make against teams with players this experienced. Particularly when you have characters like Genji on the other team who absolutely can push an advantage for everything it's worth. Like, if he gets that kind of advantage, Genji can absolutely turn around team fights. He can do a reasonable amount of damage, and he can heal and shield and everything else super easily from safety. He's so good. He's absolutely definitely one of the top knots right now as far as supports go. He's incredible. And if he gets that kind of solar to be able to do that, that's the other team's mistake, I find. In this case, in particular, when they have such an aggressive, damaging early game lineup like Lone Star, Ayla.
Absolutely. Seeing a few fishing going in with the Cocoon from Sam, getting a few here and there, but nothing really to be able to set up with the Zydecore Explode right now. I've seen a few good plays from Donald Trump on the Frog AG, trying to bait out the bull so they can go in, just getting the dash off, then backing off. They're looking for that bull to be baited out, but Nikki doing a good job now of holding on to it, saving the bull Cocoon for the right moments.
And that's super
bull
key.
Cocoon?
It's super key.
Words.
The best cocoon of life. In comes the Explode on, literally nothing. Well played. But in all seriousness, it is super important that bull Gets figured out and fast. It is the only thing that's stopping that can stop this Clunk from doing the stuff he wants to do. Like, look at that moment right there. That still managed to land, and Zydecore now is in a bad spot. Actually, never mind. His team wasn't able to back him up. But, like, Bull is the only thing on that team that's really able to stop it, unless if you get a good knockback Bull, or a knockback Ball, sorry. Trump managed to pick up a kill there onto Nikki. Unlucky for him. Donald goes in for a tricky juke. It does manage to survive with just a little bit of HP thanks to natural regen. But still, the Genji gets picked off instead, and that's a 2-for-1 exchange for the blue team. Well played by Mature Dads. But that was such a good juke out of Mr. Drumpf there. That was something else. So well played, going exactly the direction no one would have expected a frog to go.
What do you think of Mature Dads going for the solo boss instead of going for a turret?
The turret is not a guaranteed kill. It gives you a little bit of positioning now that you should be able to get later. If you go for the solar boss now, which is easy to do, that's 20 solar for the whole team that you just got. That's half a turret for the team.
Not to mention the levels.
Yeah, not to mention you still get some experience, and it is a large amount of experience. So going for that solar boss is very much worth it, I think, especially if you're behind and you can manage to get it without losing too much. In this case, it makes sense. But if they manage to, like, if they go for it aggressively when they shouldn't, like, say now, then that could be really bad. Right now, they do need to defend their turrets as much as possible. Oh, Trump going in, good hammer pants, will run away just easily.
Seeing Zydecore on the Clunk picking up fragmenting shells, so that's the AoE. Oh, and just before we do that, explode! Good juke from Nikki going the right way, which looks like the wrong way, but it gets picked off. No, he's a good bull! And it's a turnaround for two for nothing. Zydecore, yeah,
that was
anything
incredible.
About that? He's full health. Can he do anything with this?
He'll be able to defend.
Defend with that fragmenting shells, which gives him an AoE on his auto attack, which doubles his pushing and clearing output. Really good upgrade for relatively this low amount of price that it's worth.
No, fragmentation shells and anything that increases your AoE effectively increases your damage by double or triple depending on the number of targets you're hitting, right?
Absolutely.
So for something like missiles, that's an incredible amount of damage, especially for pushing and such. And it helps him to farm too, which I really, really enjoy on the character, because otherwise he has a hard time.
Yeah, I honestly think he's seen the bull plays, and they're sort of building around that, so he's probably going to go into more missiles rather than the explode damage. He's got a stage of snare just to sort of keep people in position to land some damage on them. But with the bull around, it's not going to be guaranteed. So with the missiles, he's going to be able to reliably put out a lot of damage without having to rely on cooldowns.
The snare is also really important against the Ayla, I think.
Absolutely.
Because if you can manage to land that business, then the Ayla can't fly around willy-nilly. She has to stay right where she is. She'll still be able to do damage against the Clunk for as long as the snare lasts, but it does mean that the rest of the team can reposition themselves in a better spot, so that way she has less armor while she's raging or something.
And there's both teams taking out the solo boss again, very crucial. We're seeing Mature Dads with a slight XP lead, having equalized on the kills, but have been not in the lead on the pushing side. They are way far behind, even though they have the Lone Star, which is the pushing knot.
The Lone Star doesn't have any damage upgrades, though. I mean, he's got regen, and he's got cooldown reduction on the Cattle Rebooter, which has been nerfed
as well.
And he's got slow on it, which is really important. I agree with the slow bull a lot, actually, because it means that the Clunk, once pushed out, cannot get back in time to be useful for like another 3 or 4 seconds.
But good
comes a lot of damage. Good rage coming in, dealing a little bit of damage to Genji. Genji's going to try to see if he can get a kill onto Ubi. Ubi trying to juke around. You can see the Clunk does not want to get caught up by it. The explode does come out at the wrong time, however, and Ubi should be safe. However, decides to go back in, gets the kill on Sam, but the Solar does not get where it needs to in time. And his teammate, the Froggy G, going to be able to actually end up picking up a large chunk of extra solar that he didn't even earn. Will be dashed through and away from the Coco, and will get out just fine. So 1-for-1 exchange, which actually went the favor of Red Team in this case, just because of the extra solar.
Yeah, I love those moments. You get showered with money. It's like, free money! Woo!
Who doesn't love those moments? Entire game shows have been invented around that business. Ayla's now picked up 2 ranks of damage, and both ranks of pills, which is an incredible amount of extra damage as well. So this Ayla Ubi is starting to look a little bit more frightening. Lone Star's starting to pick up some damage, and we've got the Boombox pickups and the Plastic Praying Bead pickups for the Red Team. So damage coming out for Mr. Drumpf and Sam as well.
I can see what Mature Dads are doing right now. So both the Lone Star and the Coco get slow upgrades for the Ayla to just sit and rage on them.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rage is not going to be enough as Zadokor picks up a very well-placed bite into Explode combo. Out comes the missiles, another bite. Rado's so low, cannot stick around. The fragmentation shells will kill her, and that will be the end of her ability to defend. Lone Star, super low, just barely manages to escape with his life. Just barely. Nikki's going to have to head home. And again, Rado cannot defend this. If there's explodes, there's fragmentation shells, you just can't get close. The only thing that's left is lightning balls, and that's not going to be enough, especially without the even with the cooldown reduction upgrade. That's going to that's a really good push actually out of Rusty Monty there. That's good stuff.
Definitely reflecting mature dads. They're building correctly for the noughts they've got, but I just don't think the noughts they've got are able to compete with this Genji Clunk combo right now.
No, it's a really strong combo, and it's just hugely benefited by a character like Frog. Although Sam does get knockback balled into the wrong spot. Zadokor may be in a bad spot now to say the least. The Bull comes out at a bad time, however, and will knock the Clunk away from Ubi, who could have gotten a kill given enough time. So, unfortunate there. The Bull was not intended for the way that it ended up working out, but there you have it. Explode coming out. It's going to end up missing its intended target, but will hit the Coco. Unfortunately, gets picked off anyway thanks to the Ayla's Rage. Trump going to try to come in with some more dash damage, but won't be able to do much past that, as he can't. That was an odd lightning ball. As he can't really do much on his own. Lightning ball going to come out again. Trump sees it, predicts it, will get out of the way. Now gets slow bowled, gets knocked back. Can't really do much to defend here as long as he's slowed because his dash gets shortened in terms of range. Eats a dynamite, starts to go back, tries to defend. Coco comes out, will knock back the droids. This bomb turret will end up surviving for now, however. Things looking really good,
very weak. Just a good Lone Star push on either of them now could spell disaster for that turret.
Absolutely. Thermonuclear Cleaner, by the way, coming out for the Clunk. This is not an upgrade that I saw a lot beforehand, and you mentioned before that, oh wait, that might have to wait, out comes the Explode, it's going to miss, never mind. But as I was saying, it's one of those upgrades that at least I wasn't expecting after you explained to me, like, oh, well, there's this Bull coming out, maybe he's going for a completely different build that revolves around missiles rather than Explode. That does not seem to be the case anymore.
I think maybe they've changed their tactics slightly with the turret going down there. You've seen the red team seeing they've been landing a lot of explodes. Like, okay, it's worth getting the explode damage because we are hitting these explodes, so it's worth picking them up now. So, like, Wise buying on this Ayla right now.
Oh, the pain is so real. Zadokor goes down. A well-placed lightning ball going to be able to pick up the kill there. Ubi somehow surviving that incredibly well-placed combo. Nikki now very low, needs to be careful, but is chasing down Trump with that blaster. It's almost there. That'll be the end of him. Sam goes down as well, and that's a 3-man wipe. Complete team wipe for the blue team. If you thought that one turret was going down, we got a second one going right here, and this next one behind is going to take a lot before it goes down, I think. Or maybe not.
This could be a big push on the bottom with the Super Droid coming in, and all three still alive. We could see this nearly going down, if not down. Look how quickly it's going!
Absolutely, and the Clunk can't just boost its way in either with the bounce pad, so he's going to have to walk back in, but a well-placed knockback ball going to buy them another couple of seconds. This bottom turret does end up going downtown. It decides to leave the map. It decides it goes out for a drink because this is too much for it. It's done here. That's 2 turrets off of 1 team wipe. That is frightening, and I think mature dads now very much on their back foot. Very much on their back foot.
That's the power of Lone Star. Yeah, they've got the mature dads have got the momentum now going into this mid-game now, essentially. All 3 of them sticking together. That's a cocoon missed, so they can free to go in, essentially. Ayla's not going to get shut down at all for another 5 seconds or so. Now's the time, but looks like they're going to bide their time a little bit. Just reset back to Footsie Noughts. I've got another Super Droid coming in bottom. Full Monty need to deal with that.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to start attacking their core, which, you know, they'll deal with it. It's in a weird spot now. The blue team can't really support it without getting very probably flanked, which might get them killed. So, yeah, it would make sense to not try to push that one a little bit too hard. It'll push on its own if they decide to split it up. Plus, now that Trump has to go back down to deal with it, the blue team could do something maybe, but not the case in this case.
Some of the upgrades bought. Froggy G is gone for maximum damage and movement on his tornado, rather than going for an RB or can't touch this, which is the shield on the tornado move. I'd have expected maybe a little bit of RB to count to cancel out the dynamite and some of the other skills as well.
Possibly, but it feels like such a difficult skill to manage to make work because of its now irregular timing. It's not tied to the duration anymore, so you do have to time it instead of as a damage ability, then as a reactive counter. Which again, it's really tough to do, particularly when you're playing against people that know what they're doing. It might work once, it might work twice, it might not work the third time. And at that point, then that's however many solar that was to buy the upgrade just kind of wasted. At this stage, it doesn't feel like it would be like the best bet. Going for the damage means that they have the ability to get some easy kills if they can manage to land this cocoon, and that's going to be the tough part. Good lightning ball coming out on Sam. Sam is now on the wrong side of this line of scrimmage. That's not going to matter, though. Zydecore will pick up a kill. Donald Trump will go down as well, however, as he is very low HP. Sam just barely gonna survive, but where's the HP cocoon? Ubi gonna need to back off, however, as he is very low. Sam is running into a bad spot. Will teleport instead. Nikki will not be able to get that kill. Bull gonna come out. It's gonna force Zydecore to go all the way back, wasted explode, and then Nikki will just run away with his brand new shiny boots. I mean, it's not all that brand new, but he does have those boots, which gives him that little bit of extra move speed. So that will absolutely get him that escape. No problem.
Picking up one of my favorite items in the game, that's spiritual cooking, giving them the extra health HP for the whole team. Really strong upgrade, particularly for a clunk. It's such a good upgrade to synergize with things. So that it just means they can't, like Froggy G does not need to get health until much later. This big team fight coming in, no one's really getting picked off, just people
Trump's
limping away.
Super low, is trying to run, gets the HP creep. Ubi's going to try to come in for the side, but the dash will come in at a good time, and he will manage to get out. He still wants back in, though. What was he thinking? Goes in, tries to NATO his way out, gets caught out by the rage instead, and now Nikki's looking for a kill. Tries to bull, will not get it. Ubi gets picked off by the explode. Out comes the lightning ball. It will miss. Sam's going to try to get the chase onto the Coco, but will not be able to quite cinch the kill, and will manage to get out just by the skin of her teeth. Well played by the red team, at least managing to get a 1-for-1 pick off there off of Ubi's incredible greed.
It was well played to both teams, but with the Clunk and the Genji still alive, this is in their favour. They've got that top turret down. They've got access to the base as well. This could go either way now. A big wipe from either team could spell disaster.
This is absolutely true. Well, especially if it's against if Rusty Monty manages to get wiped, the blue team will just absolutely wreck through. They won't even need droids to be able to keep a push going thanks to Bull, and especially with the reduced cooldown and the knockback and everything else. They can get rid of a defending team
this
very
easily.
easily.
Need to go for base though.
That's what I'm thinking. They go for the base and they take it out. They've got the damage to make it happen for sure. However, yeah, the red team obviously does have that kind of damage as well. Rusty Monty is looking really good right now, especially with the spiritual cooking that you mentioned before. Especially the frog, really appreciates it because that means that he doesn't have to go for HP pills quite yet, or even at all. He can save that for something else. Out comes the dash, well placed into the explode. That will get a kill. Ubi's now looking for some more kills onto this red team. Will not be able to cinch the 2 kills that he needed. Now the red team is low, but not as low as Nikki. Nikki gets bit to death. That will be the end of the entirety of the blue team. Very well played by Rusty Monty, and now they're going to start doing some damage to this core. And they have 10 seconds of free reign on this thing. I think it's done. Yeah, this definitely looks like GG. An incredible team wipe. Sorry?
This would make it 1-1?
Yeah, absolutely. This makes it 1-1. Rusty Monty taking the second game away from Mature Dads, bringing this to a 3-game series. That was an incredible fight right at the end. It could have gone either way right up until the moment that Ubi got bit in the wrong spot. At that point, the fight was definitely going to be Rusty Monty's because did you see how low they all were on Rusty Monty? That was so all close. Thanks to Rage. If that Rage had just lasted 2 seconds longer, it would have been the other way around, and this would have been a 2-game series in favor of Mature Dads, but not the case this time. Burhi, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, really close game, really exciting stuff from both teams. Again, it all came down to about 10 health on each character each at the end. Really close stuff. Really exciting. Can't wait for this third game. The decider for this round. Absolutely.
With that said, we do have to take a quick break to go ahead and set that up. So thank you everybody for watching. We will be right back, so stay tuned for a little bit more Awesome Nuts. Game 3 coming right up.
Okay, welcome back. We are joining. I am Burry. I'm joined by Edster. Say hi.
I am here.
Hello.
I've returned. Game 2 was exciting. I'm looking forward to casting Game 3. Woo!
All right, we are watching Mature Dads versus Full Monty. Game 3 is 1-1, two very exciting and close games to make the series 1-1 so far. Well, let's go straight in with the picks and bans.
Yep, well, we are on Serona, which is a map we haven't seen yet today. And Mature Dads are Team 1, Rusty Monty are Team 2. Mature Dads opened up with a Leon ban, and Rusty Monty banned Nikki's Skulder, presumably. Then we're looking at Ayla first pick from Mature Dads, which is a bit of a... Oh, no.
That was a ban.
We're looking at a Scoop first pick. Sorry, I'm reading the thing wrong. And then we are seeing a Genji Clunk response. So that's the same combo they used last game to great effect.
Again.
And we're seeing Rusty Monty pull it out once more. Then we're seeing a Coco pick from Mature Dads, followed by a Ayla ban. Then we're looking at a Ted ban from Rusty Monty, a Frog pick from Mature Dads, and a Swiggins pick from Rusty Monty. So we're looking at Scoop, Coco, Frog versus Genji, Clunk, Swiggins.
I am surprised they let them have the Clunk Genji for the second game in a row after having to face that. Yeah, very strange picks from Mature Dads, I think, at the end of the day. They've got the Scoop, which is strong, and they've got the Coco, which is strong, and they've got the Froggy G, which is strong, and they can synergize that with the Scoop Hammer very nicely. But we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I would like to point out is that the Cocoon into Explode is going to be just as lethal, but I'm not quite sure where this Swiggins kind of fits in with the synergy. I guess it's another kind of enabler for the Clunk to waltz on him with an Explode, but there's no major synergy if the fight is around a Cocoon, so to say, if the Swiggins is there.
I think going in what they were doing with Froggy G last time, it's an AoE bursted stun, but he's got more health as well now, so he's a little bit tankier. Not as much mobility, but he can hook in and just, again, get that AoE damage stun, which is probably what they're going to look for, just to shut down anyone who's trying to help out the Cocoon person.
But I guess we're going to find all this out as we get into the game. So, Burry, do you want to give us a countdown?
Boy, do I! Are we ready at 9 seconds on Serona? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And looking at the red team, we have Donald Trump from the Swiggins, we have Sam on his Genji, and Zytokor once again on the Clunk. On the blue team, we have Rodo again on the Coco, Nikki on the Frog, and Ubi once again playing the Scoop.
Alright, let's see how they handle it with these new comps. On the blue team, can they deal with this Genji Clunk any better? They've got a bit more of an escape option if they hang around that mid with the bounce pad, just to let them get back to the jump quite easily, but yeah, we'll just see how it's going to play out. It's going to be a bit of footsie knots at the moment. Who's going to hold the middle? We don't know.
People just trading abilities at the moment. No kind of major team fights coming out, although one might happen on the screen.
Good dash.
Nikki
Good
managing to dash out the way, the ball hits the Swiggins, Swiggins is displaced. The hammer hits all three of them, but again, there's not quite enough damage from either team to get any of the kills, although Nikki might look for the Genji. Nope, not happen. Ball hits Clunk. Everyone's half, everyone's backing off to just reconsolidate abilities, and it looks like Swiggins is going to farm the Worm and take the Coco Ball in the process. Overall, I think just because of the Worm farm, Full Monty got a little bit ahead of that. That was a nice, you know, a good 30 solar in there, but it's not relatively inconsequential in the grand scheme of things.
Nikki looking to lip jump in and maybe squish someone under the Worm there. Zytokor wise to the game though, and doesn't go under the Worm. You could tell he wanted to, but
yeah, I mean, it's actually interesting. He just farmed the Worm and let the solar evaporate. I mean, it's interesting to do that. I guess to just deny the XP really, and just making sure there's no risk that he's going to die. But Clunk on his own in the lane at the moment. Genji is coming in, but he's just kind of holding and making sure he doesn't die and at full health, ready for when the fight starts. Speaking of fight, Anchor and Ball traded, but nothing really major happening.
Just a couple of trades.
Goes in.
Nikki being brave, definitely. There's a nice little anchor hook there. Nothing really come out of it. Nothing really coming out of anything right now. Just a lot of trades, a lot of pokes. Just both teams just waiting for the opportunity to go in, but nothing really happening just yet. We're seeing Swiggins piggyback into double regen. What do you think on that?
Well, I mean, he's, as you said, you know, pokes are kind of happening. People are trading abilities, but no, like, major fights. He's just making sure that he's regenning up so he can, you know, he can take one Coco Ball and still stay in lane without needing to find health anywhere. Nikki's very low, manages to dodge the explode with a very well-timed dash.
That's going to do very well with that explode. Very scary to dodge that.
Yeah, but Full Monty are going to take control here. They might even get a tiny bit of push in top lane, but it seems a bit unlikely. They might get half a bar or something in. Nah, it doesn't even seem like they're going to get that. Because blue team are well and truly back in lane. Nikki's been cocooned, but he does still have dash, and he actually uses it aggressively instead of defensively. But the blessing was popped, so no major damage taken on the red team. The hammer lands, and he runs away.
I think this Swiggins pick is actually a really good choice for Full Monty against this Froggy G, because the Froggy G is going to be up in their face a lot, so he's going to be more likely to be cocooned. And if Zytokor just delays his... Ooh!
Ooh, that was close!
I really wanted that to happen, so I just like stopped talking, just like mouth the game, like please let it happen.
Yeah, Rodo
what was I
really
saying?
Low.
Yeah, so the Swiggins can hook onto the Frog, which doesn't matter about his dash. He can't immunity through the... he can't invulnerability CC thing. He still gets CC'd, he still gets hooked by that, and if Zytokor just holds off for a split second for Froggy G to waste his dash and then he's hooked, he can land that explode.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Swiggins is going to help to pick off the Frog, and since Rusty Monty were Team 2 this game, they had the last pick, so that was definitely a counter to the full team of that, so it's probably definitely a counter to the Coco and the Frog, which are kind of fast-moving noughts, to be able to pin them down and make sure that explode lands.
And Donald Trump doing a really good job with Swiggins, being very aggressive, but not being too aggressive so he gets caught in the middle of them. And he's not wasting his anchor hook either. He's saving it for the opportune moments like
Nikki's in a bad
Froggy G's
spot
low
here.
health is dashed down and gets picked up very nice for the first kill of the game.
Oop, what was that sound effect? That was a bit strange, but...
It was an awesome not sound effect. Good job, Sonic Phoenix.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to clear bottom instead of farming it, so they're looking to get some push in here, and I think they're going to get a little bit of push on bottom lane. And Sam needs to be careful though, he is quite low. A hammer and a ball could kill him quite easily. But yeah, they
Nice
did.
bit of push on
They
bottom.
did 2 bars on bottom, 1 bar on top. They got the job done, and now they're probably just going to farm bottom maybe. But be a little bit careful because Nikki is moving in now.
But everyone's full health. Cooldown's been reset. Dash is down. Bindings have been used.
Oh, I see. That's when he cocoons the bindings. That's what happens with that sound effect.
I
That's
think
good to know.
seems to be, at least on the replays, a bug whenever someone's making a sound, and also making a sound, they keep repeating that sound in a cocoon if they've been cocooned during it.
Yeah. Oh, Nikki
pick
does
up
go
on
down
that.
a little bit overzealous on the bounce and gets picked up by Donald Trump.
Yeah, his dash,
with
his dash
the
goes
anchor
down
hook.
and he gets stunned and bitten.
Yeah, the anchor hook and the bite was enough to finish him off. Frog, very squishy. If he gets hit by 2 abilities, he's going to go down.
Particularly with a relatively easy to land stun that Swiggins has.
We're looking at Range Hammer being picked up by Ubi, so we're not seeing the bindings or the Halberd of Justice rush, because I think at this point, that finding one kill at the moment is very difficult for the mature dads. They need the damage and they need the CC to actually be able to get them before they can really use the Halberd of Justice to snowball off the kills.
In Donald Trump go into some damage on his anchor hook, increasing the amount of damage he does with the pokes and the damage he does during those team fights. Good
Yeah, a
poke
lot
on there.
A lot of items just bought by Clunk. He's bought 1 stage of Snare Bite, and then he's piggybacked into AoE on his left click and a stage of Power Converter. So definitely going for the kind of push, but then also the Snare Bite to help pin down the Frog and the Coco. And
Same
well,
thing as
also
he was
the
doing
Scoop.
last time. They don't broke. In case of it, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Absolutely. And yeah, we're also seeing Getting Out of the Hood being picked up from the Genji. That speed increase is going to allow the Clunk to charge in and hopefully have enough speed to catch the Coco. Maybe not the Frog because of the dash, but if they can get the Coco in one of the explodes, that's kind of the easiest kill they can look for at the moment.
Worm
Even though
eating the
Nikki
solo
has
down the
both
bottom.
twice.
Trump just like staring at the worms going,
I think whoever's the host couldn't see it, but Sam could. So Sam did pick up the solo there. You know, it was a bit deceptive. I was seeing Knockback Roll being picked up on the Coco. That's going to be a really useful upgrade to just tell this Clunk, go back. The right side is ours. You stay on the left side. We don't want to be exploded on today. Thank you. And also explode people in towards them if they're going to get some damage, like they just did there.
it's being
Nikki's
cooked
quite low.
again.
Nikki's very low, actually. The DOT on Genji is also providing... Oh, wow. Ubi almost goes down to Dom Trump. But the DOT on Genji is proving to be quite a useful upgrade, as
No.
it's sort of keeping everyone low.
The entire blue team low health with the red team full health, meaning that turret's going to go down as they limp away back to base. That's our first turret
Yeah.
down as well. Big
I'd
momentum
imagine
for
Red Team are
Monty.
going to look to... Yeah, Red Team are going to look to maybe push this a little bit and then go spend. You know, we've got a lot of solar being up on there. There's 1 or 2 upgrades worth being bought, so we'll likely see them start to back off and buy their items. Soon.
And these front turrets do go down quickly on Serona.
Oh wow, that's an
Particularly with the new
excellent ball,
shortened version
Sam.
of it.
That was an excellent ball, and Sam, with the Twitch reactions, manages to sort of jump to cancel that knockback and then get out of the hood to run away to safety.
Yeah, speaking of which, Get Out of the Hood has been bought, so they're going to start to look to be even more aggressive and just get some more initiations as a team.
Yeah, I mean, mature dads, they're really struggling to find a clean kill at the moment. They can only really expect to get
Or
one
any.
kill because of the way... Yeah, or any kill, actually. They are 0 kills on the board at the moment. But finding that kind of clean initiate where they can all go in on one person is quite difficult, because if they spread the damage out too thinly, they're not going to kill anyone, which is what we're seeing at the moment.
Their only real initiation hope is Ubi, and then they both go... Everyone pounces in on the snared
Well,
enemy.
that too. They also have the knockback ball, which has been bought on Coco. We've seen that almost find a kind of clean thing, but Ubi and Nikki are never quite in position to capitalise that at the moment. And we're seeing
Get
Donald
stunned there.
Trump. Ooh.
Just misses the hook.
I
Random
think he's
hook being
actually
thrown
a bit
out.
out of position there. He's low. Nikki's looking for it, but can't quite find it because the Clunk is a bit of a threat if he uses his Nado there. And we're also seeing
Clunk
break
nice and fed,
damage.
having all the kills in the game so far.
Yeah, we're seeing break damage being purchased on Swiggins, so he's gonna... I think that's purely to burst down the Frog. If you can get lots of small instances of burst, you know, significant enough to matter to the Frog,
Nikki
then you're
finally
gonna be
getting
able
a
to take
kill
him
for mature dads. Picking up on Sam as they finally managed to get a one-on-one with the cocoon down up in the top jungle. They're back on the scoreboard, and they've got a bit of momentum now, getting some push on because they're in a 3-for-2 situation. Can they make the most of this? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Nicky's trying to do the best he can. He's doing as much damage as he can. And Clunk's actually low. Shoda's looks to go in, but can't quite find the initiate. And Clunk is going to teleport back and buy a couple of upgrades.
And
Double
Sam
spiritual
has been cooking in base.
Yeah, double spiritual cooking on Genji. This is such a significant upgrade for them because it's going to increase their health. And Mature Dad's team, it's kind of single target burst at the moment. All their damage is in their abilities. If Rusty Monty can survive that initial burst, then they can counter initiate perfectly. You know, if Dash is out and everything's out, they can just explode on the frog and get a kill. So if they're able to survive, they'll do fine. So that extra health is a very important pickup here.
They waited a lot later in the game in game 2 to get that spiritual cooking. What do you think's I mean, you mentioned the reasons just now, but what do you think is the main some of the reasons why they have taken it so early?
It tends to be a lot better versus dive comps. Comps that really want to go in, punch, get a kill, using all their abilities in one kind of flashy, synced-up burst move. The reason why is it makes it harder for them to do that. They have to execute it. Oh, I'm seeing the Kun going out. And Nicky's going to go down in the counter initiate that ensues because, as I said, I think that spiritual cooking just saved Sam. I think he definitely would have died if that wasn't there. But yeah, it works well against dive comps because you can survive that burst and then counter initiate because all their abilities are gone. Last game there was an Ayla, and that's definitely not a dive naught. That's one which has a continuous brawl and a kind of chase down. And spiritual cooking isn't going to do that much. It's only going to give you, an extra half a second of survivability versus that Ayla.
And that spiritual cooking come into effect again to save Donald Trump as well as we getting caught out by Nicky. Just missing out on that kill. Bull Monty definitely having a big lead on XP, kills, and momentum right now. Definitely in their favour. He's got a Super Droid coming in top. The rest of the team have gone back to buy some more upgrades. This is looking very dangerous for Mature Dads right now.
Ow!
And there we see the bug again. Rodo goes down. Nicky nearly going down. Yes, he does. To the dot.
Nicky goes down.
This could be a wipe right now. Ubi needs to get out.
He's juking to save his life. He's trying to teleport out, but no. Sam says no. He gets the cocoon. There is a health pack which Ubi might run to. He does get the health pack, but Zytocore is coming now, and Genji has nothing.
Oh, good lip jump. Not quite. Ubi has to go down at some point soon. He's staying alive as long as he could have then. But well done to both guys. They're just
okay. I'm seeing it.
Do as good as they can.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, whilst all that was happening, was just pushing down that tower. Ubi did an excellent job of time wasting there. There was a potential he could have lived, but there was also a potential he could have died a lot sooner, which would have meant a lot more tower damage on
the best thing I think he
Mature
could have done
Dad's
was
team.
waste time.
Yeah, wasting time, and obviously if he'd lived it would have been amazing, but he did a good job to stay alive for as long as he did. And
I mean,
that definitely saved.
As long as Sam and Zytocore were doing what they should have been doing, he would have died.
Oh,
and
the
a good explosion.
synced-up burst is perfect. And they're still going to go in. They have so much health now, and the abilities are out on Mature Dads, and they have 4 droids at the tower. This is going to be a terrifying amount of push.
And they didn't use the ball on the droids, which they really need to get rid of.
The momentum from Rusty Monty is just too much. They're just able to push up. And, Mature Dads are so reliant on their cooldowns, and the cooldowns aren't enough to get the kills at the moment. Although Nicky might be able to pick off Swiggins there. Yep, Swiggins goes down, and Nicky's going to go in hard on this Clunk. The bite whiffs. They might be able to hunt this down, but Sam's going to be there with a blessing. Speed him up, get him out of there. And yeah, both Sam and Zytocore are going to look to go away, but the ball does land. There was a health pack there. That would have been a nice kill.
And we are seeing that AoE stun on the Swiggins now. This is such a brutal comp to go against. I do not want to be in Mature Dad's position right now. They are on the back foot. That turret has 1 bar left against this sort of comp that is so easy to get kills with quite reliably. They've got a work cut out. And dead.
Okay, he goes down, and Nicky just doesn't have enough damage to get the kills here, I don't think. Nicky's going to go down. Ubi needs to run, but I think there's the cocoon. Zytocore's going to come in for the bite. This might even be game. The bottom tower doesn't have that much health, and Steamoni aren't, taking a hesitated approach to the tower, but they are definitely going to rush it down. They're going to tank it. They're going to take the tower, and they're going to do a lot of base damage here.
With the momentum,
Rocco-
they could take the base, you're right.
Yeah, Coco's only just come back, and because the ball just whiffs, they're going to do well to
This
start
base
this push.
is melting so quickly. Look at that. Nicky's got a lot of work to do. He's used both the skills, though. So's Rodden. Rodden's too weak to go out and fight anything. Can Scoot make a difference?
I just don't think Mature Dads have enough damage at the moment. Even if they hit everything, I still think the Blessing and the health on Red Team, they're just going to survive and keep pushing. There's really not much Mature Dads can do.
Oh!
The lip jump to Cocoon, I've never
Well-timed dash, though. Managed to make a play. He survives. Can they pick up the reverse kill? Rotto goes down, though, to a bite. That spiritual cooking. Doing absolute work, and they get a team wipe for that upgrade. That's GG. That's got to be game.
Nicky disconnects. Coco's on the thing that want to replay. That's a bit amusing. Yeah. Bit of BM from Zytocor with the easy, and yeah. Wow.
Zytocor going 8-0, nearly getting legendary.
I think we're starting to see a new kind of meta develop here, where teams are going for very, very tanky comps. We've seen sort of the tankier comp in every single game start winning. You know, you get the comp that can just survive the damage from the enemy team and then just keep pressuring. Because if you've got another team which is heavily reliant on cooldowns, and you survive all their cooldowns and you still keep going, then you're fine. You can just carry on, never have to stop, and keep pushing and win. And that's exactly what happened from Rusty Monty there. And Rusty Monty take the series. Take that match 2-1. That was very well fought.
Yeah, very well fought. Particularly as they lost the first game, they came back and carried on that momentum from the second game. I can't believe Mature Dads let them have that Genji Clunk comp twice in a row, though. I was expecting at least a Genji ban.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the draft, perhaps a Leon first ban might not have been the best idea. Maybe banning a Genji and then looking to pick up a Leon or perhaps a Yuri as a first pick. Or again, a Scoop, you know, but allowing that Genji to slip through again just allowed that tanky team to just develop from that. But the Genji Clunk was so lethal there. It really, really did its job how intended. And the Swiggins last pick, I was hesitant about it at first, but it really helped to lock down that Frog or the Coco or anyone really once the Cocoon was there to ensure that explode hit. And it was beautifully played.
It was really great with the Genji setup and then Swiggins just going, nope, you don't have an escape option. There's no way you're getting out of this. Really
anyway,
nice.
We are going to be heading to a break now, but
first,
you may want to look out in the chat because I believe there will be a giveaway for a Teddy Ayla skin.
Whoop,
Keep your
my
eyes
favorite
out
skin.
on that, and we will see you later.
Good day.